I promise. Get this all good for. This is still Hello.
Hello.
So, there we go. So it'll be just a second because I gotta set up cameras for us.
I'm hearing an echo from someone.
Well, actually, some of these should work.
Just doing some fine tuning of my own, mostly just on the Roll20 side of things.
Yeah, some of these work. Which one are you guys? That's 4 and 3.
I'm hearing an echo from someone. I'm not sure who.
What does it sound like?
It's just like repeating. Like a second later.
Go away. Or because I muted myself just to see.
So, no.
Oh, that's why. Twitch.
That'll do it.
Now, and just a slight delay too.
I thought about it and I was like, wait, that's like 10 seconds delay. That sounds like Twitch. I'm gonna go look.
I was just gonna say too, like almost all of us are muted. You're the only one who has like an open mic right now. I don't know who's making any noise. Nobody's echoing on my end, so it's gotta be something on your end.
And it was Twitch.
Of course.
Darn you, Twitch. No.
How dare you, Twitch?
So they finally took the bed out of my apartment, like the extra bed,
Oh yeah?
but they still haven't fixed the AC.
No, no.
Hey, it's something, right?
Yeah, it's a small victory.
We take those.
One molehill at a time.
Oh man, I had all the numbers for these written down.
Oh, if you're talking about the monsters, they all had 1 for stats.
No, I'm talking about cropping images. But thank you, I do appreciate the help.
Oh, absolutely. I'll throw whatever persuasion checks you need.
If only that's how it worked, right? Just persuade your DM.
Let's see here. Charisma. Not me.
Let me just check my real world charisma for a second.
Yes, it's... Oh, straight 20s. Ah.
If only.
Expertise.
Yeah, because that's how that works.
Out of here.
Yeah, because clearly you're a god.
Don't I know it?
Among
Not
men.
only everyone else would recognize it.
All right. There was one other of these that worked. This one, maybe? No, definitely not that one. There we go, that one.
So who here uses an Android device?
I do.
Yep.
Cool. You guys might already know about it, but Fight Club silently released their apps on Android.
Oh, nice.
Like, Yeah, Fight Club 5 and GM Master 5.
Oh,
I'll have to play around with that a little bit.
I think they smell blood in the water. The white screen.
And you can also load the XML files that are already out that like are in iOS format. You can just preload them in and it should work fine.
Oh, that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's ever since Rollgate happened.
Yeah.
Rollgate.
A lot of places.
Is that what we're going with this Rollgate?
That's what I'm calling it.
I mean,
Okay.
not too far off. And then here we are still using Roll20.
You know, every transition takes time.
And there's
like,
Fantasy Grounds.
there is Fantasy Grounds, but we
Might
have to pay
require
for that
port
one.
forwarding still.
no, I've actually used Fantasy Grounds before.
Okay.
You can just add people on Steam, and it'll work.
Oh, badass.
The only issue with Fantasy Grounds is that it's kind of expensive.
Yeah. That can be difficult.
Just send this footage to Nolan T to get instantly downloaded to many webmails.
Nah, I panned it.
God. How do you actually say that to someone?
Alright, that's going to be good enough for now. Played around with the videos for long enough. All right. So how are you guys? How's your weeks been? How's everything going?
Not bad, but I've definitely been looking forward to this.
Oh yes.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good. I'm glad. Hopefully we don't fall totally flat this week.
Hopefully
I do have a
this
new camera,
one.
and
keep
it
the
does
tape
work a
session.
lot better now that I'm looking at it. I haven't tested it yet. But there's no more focusing issues where I'll have to dig my finger into the lens.
Perfect. That's all we need. All right. So, you guys ready to go ahead and get started then?
Let's do it.
All right. So, first of all, welcome everyone to second episode of Critical Role, where us Critical Role fans get together and play Critical Role set in Matthew Mercer's Tal'Dorei. Last week, when we left our heroes, well, adventurers, I don't know if we can call them heroes yet.
I've done nothing wrong.
that has yet to be decided. They had come to the town of Drinna, all for their own reasons, all in various mixed company, most on their own, and in doing so, ran into each other, either on the road, in the town, in the tavern, and through a matter of circumstance, ended up overhearing about some problems that the citizens of Drinna had been having, where some of the fishing trawlers and tradesmen had been going missing on the lake, the entire boats being pulled under, if not the entire crew missing entirely. As they were sitting in the tavern, a man came in reporting a recent missing boat, to which they all followed him out as the foreman was down at the docks, conversing with an elderly gentleman who was one of the survivors of the recent attack. After debating a little bit with the foreman, the party went to the lodge, the ruling council of elders in the town, and after a little bit of debate, settled on a bit of payment should they move forward and clear out and find, more specifically just find, but clear out the cause of all these disappearances and all of the strife to the town. So the party set out early the next morning, caught a ride on a fishing trawler towards the east side of the lake by the riverbed, where the elderly gentleman had reported that was where they were attacked. Upon disembarking, they found some ruined ships, they found footprints, as well as signs of more recent activity. Following these into a cave that was set farther deep inland, Stefano found a group of humanoid figures that were hard to make out in the dim light of the cave that were rummaging through what ended up being a large amount of bits of shipwrecks, stashed crates, stashed barrels, all of the items from, likely, these missing ships. And then he returned to the party, brought everyone to the cave, and that was where we left off.
And didn't abandon anyone in the woods.
Did not abandon anyone in the woods.
Everyone accounted for.
Absolutely.
Oh yes.
So we pick up the group of you outside this cave as the day is starting to hit its peak. It sits around noon. You are all standing just outside the mouth of the cave in the woods beyond the view sight of directly into the cave, but all the same, what do you wish to do?
All right, so I have the most experience with this cave. So what I'm gonna do is sneak in and take a good position. You wait 2 minutes and then come in, whether peacefully or you decide that you want to just stab everything. Either way is good for me. I'll be back. I'll be the backup, the blade in the dark, so to speak.
Well, that sounds like a plan to me. I'm going to reach out, touch Stefano, and give him guidance. Be mindful of your surroundings.
Of course. When has a Stefano ever messed up?
Boy,
I'll trust you.
and I severely doubt you have never messed up.
You have never seen it, so it has never happened. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a stealth. When I get to the cave, I'm gonna peek around inside to see if there's any of the figures still in there.
Give me a perception check.
All right, well, I rolled a 5, so that's gonna be a 6.
6. So there are still 2 of them that are in relatively direct view, rummaging through some of the bits of wreckage scattered about on the close shore. Yeah. They do not seem to be paying you any mind if they have noticed you, but you're not really sure if they have or not.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna throw a stealth check to sneak inside, keeping low and close to the wall. And I'm going to go ahead and add that guidance on there because that 5 doesn't bode well.
Oh geez.
That is 19.
19. All right.
Guidance is a one-time use, right?
Yes.
All right.
Wrong page. Need the stats. All right, you said 19?
Mm-hmm.
So as you push your way through, hugging the wall and sneaking into the shadows of the cave, you don't really seem... It does not seem like you've caught their attention. You've managed to slide into the shadows just beyond where the sunlight reaches, and they continue to kind of go about their business.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and notch an arrow to my bow.
Okay.
And just wait.
All right. And
Essentially
what is the rest of you
holding my
doing?
action.
You got it.
Hmm.
And what
I'm
about you
just-
guys? What are you doing?
I'm just trying to think of what my character would do right now. Saw him move forward. So.
At this point, how long has it been?
For him to sneak, it's been about a minute.
think we'll all just sort of wait patiently. And
I haven't heard
anyone
anything
want to do anything.
in the cave, so I'm guessing nothing's happened. I don't know. When these whole sneaking missions happen, they're usually like a signal for us to move in.
Can't quite say I have the experience in that either, but you did say give him a few moments, and if nothing has happened, then we'll come in, see if anything's afoot. If no one's there, then it'd be better if we came in and followed up with him.
Indeed.
So, Stefano, a minute passes with you having this arrow ready and no real change. The rest of you, is there, as after, so another minute passes.
I'd say, give or take 4 or 5 minutes have gone by and no movement or sound has happened inside. We'd probably start moving in and checking out.
Stefano's not going to wait 5 minutes.
All right. So we'll say, 2 or 3 minutes pass by, and I take it, Stefano, you wish to...
He's getting a little antsy. He said 2 minutes. He's looking over towards the entrance. They're not coming in. He might have to solve this problem himself.
It's been a while, guys.
Up to you. 2 minutes has passed. 3 minutes has passed.
Okay, so
I think
there's 2 of them, right?
That you can see, there is 2 of them.
All right, that doesn't bode well. I'm going to fire an arrow at one of them.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll.
That's going to be a 19.
That'll hit.
Perfect. All right, and it's an... Would you say they're surprised by this?
I would say they're surprised, yes.
All right, thank you. That's going to be an automatic crit. Oh, I get that sneak attack too.
You do.
Badass. All right, so one of them's going down.
We'll see. You
13, and then my sneak attack is 2. So that's going to be 20 total damage.
20 total? All right.
And then I would like to just kind of dash away and hide as another sneak action in the dark, if I can.
I'll say you can do that as the first action of the round, because I'm going to need everyone to roll initiative now.
Okay.
Which we'll actually we'll be trying roll 20. Actually getting to give it a shot here.
Badass.
All right.
Drop my dice. Literally just looked away for a second and I just heard it clonk on the ground.
What the heck? I'm currently in here as a player, and that doesn't help.
Oh, jeez.
Come on, roll 20. Well, while that is up, let me get my piece of paper. All right, anybody 20 to 25?
I have a 23.
23. 15 to 20.
I have 17.
All right. 10 to 15? Oh no. 5 to 10? Okay, what you get?
God.
So that's a big fat 6 for Malcolm.
All right. And Edwin?
That's a natural 2 minus 1.
All right.
Perfect.
That's pretty funny.
Alright, let's put some tokens down. Which, I made tokens for everybody, and they probably look absolutely nothing like you. So if there is art you would like to use, over the next week, find it, and I'll make a token out of it.
Perfect. Thank you.
These are huge. There we go. Okay, so that one is Malcolm. The green one is Edwin. Where did it go? Orange here is Stefano.
Is it supposed to be a black screen?
Oh, you go over to that little sliding bar there and just zoom it all the way out.
Yeah, there's a small
Zoom out.
portion
We only
that is
can see
revealed.
the bottom left right now.
Oh, okay. I
For
see.
some reason, they like that started off zoomed in on nothing.
All right.
Like every Roll20 game I've ever played, they've had it just like.
And they're actually about that big.
Gotcha. All right. So I'm guessing I annoyed one, if it even noticed.
He turns around. Prepare for a tidal wave.
Oh my god.
All right, so I'm gonna assume you would attack the one closest to you, yeah?
Absolutely.
All right.
Oh god, there's 3 of them.
Which,
You don't know.
as you guys standing outside, you hear this as one of the, which you now see as it turns to you and a little bit of the light starts to catch its face. You see this grotesque, distorted, fish-like face with tendrils hanging off the cheeks and fins off the sides of its head and down the ridge of its back. A slight hunch to it with shells and bits of leather and cloth cobbled together in armor on this slimy green skin as it turns to you with this ramshackle spear trident. Somewhere in the middle, its blades jammed into and tied roughly to like a wooden stick.
Stay away from the pointy end.
Which, as that one lets out its scream, you do see one more start to come out from the water. And that takes us to the top with Stefano.
All right. So I didn't kill this one.
You did not.
All right, I'm gonna have to fire off another shot.
Do it.
Okay, that's gonna be a 9.
That is gonna unfortunately miss.
Damn. All right.
You knock a second arrow, and just the sight of it as it came into the light shook you a little bit, and as you release, it's ready for you this time, and it sidesteps your arrow skittering off its shoulder pad. Would you like to move?
I would love to move. I'm gonna try to get the fuck out and stealth. Just into the darkness a little bit more. I'm gonna go down.
All right. See if you can move your token.
I'm gonna go over here.
Yes.
And I'm gonna throw a stealth. Try to wrap myself in darkness.
Go for it.
God damn it! That's gonna be a 9.
All right. You attempt to hide to your best ability.
I knew it. I knew this would happen.
Yeah, hey Nathan.
What's up?
Oh my life.
Well, you know the cameras when you brought the map up got messed up on Twitch.
Did it really? No. Wait. This should not
Oh.
be. Oh, no, that's not because of the. That's because we do not have the full party. Hold on.
This is wow.
You know what? I'm gonna cheat this a little bit today
Yeah, go for it.
because.
I'll let you
Thank you.
God, please do not let this be the end of Stefano. Don't let me be killed by fish.
Now it's your turn to be drowned.
Cat killed by fish.
Every cat's nightmare.
There we go. All right. And we can just shrink that down, put it right there. We go. We cheated it a little bit.
That works.
Perfect.
All right. And with that, Stefano is done. That brings us to Tanith.
My ear just twitches as I hear that noise. And I look and it's just like, what was that? Oh! I bet that's a signal. Let's go. I'm going to. How far into the cave? How long?
You guys
How
are
far?
about 20 feet back from the mouth of the cave itself.
Oh, that's pretty good. So 30 feet of movement would get me in there.
Yeah, you can get anywhere within about 10 feet of the cave.
Yep. That's exactly where I want to be.
Perfect.
Just looking around, looking at the fishermen. It's like, okay, let's do this. Just as I'm going to just aim a finger at one of the fishermen, I'm just going to snap it as I cast a firebolt.
All right, which one would you like to cast at?
I'm going to cast it at the this one.
Perfect.
Here.
Let it fly.
That is going to be, let's see, a 10 plus my modifier is a 15.
15, that will hit.
Okay, and that is a D10. Okay, that's going to be 5 fire damage.
All right, as you stride into the mouth of this cave, looking around for where Stefano went, you turn and see all these fishmen raising a finger and firing a bolt. It cascades, slamming into the Sahuagin that Stefano had just slammed into the chest with an arrow, burning away a solid chunk out of his core, and he collapses to the ground, dead. Well done.
All right, perfect.
And that brings us to...
And then as a bonus action, I'm just going to hold out the same hand that I used, and I'm going to summon in my rapier into my hand.
Of course. Tanith raises an outstretched hand, and out of thin air, Stefano, you see, a rapier appears in his hand.
Oh, that's a pretty cool.
And now it is their turn. As this one, they move forward. As well as another one
Oh, God.
comes out of the water. Alongside
Oh no.
Oh, Jesus.
one that is about the same height as the others, but significantly wider. And they will move forward. All right. Tanith, the one against you. That is going to be a 10.
That will miss.
All right, Stefano.
Yeah.
That will be a
Yes.
9.
That's going to be a miss.
Surprised as they were not expecting to be attacked within this cave, their rushing attacks are easy for you to dodge, and the two of you sidestep them. Tanith, even with your lack of combat experience, you find it almost playfully easy to deflect this attack. And that brings us to Malcolm.
All right. So the mouth of the cave is the southern area, or?
Mouth of the cave is... How'd you do that ping?
You just hold down your clicker.
Ah,
I hold down
Right
the
here.
left mouse.
gotcha. Right here is the mouth of the cave.
Okay. I would like to. Oh God. Okay. All right. I would like to move in to. This is gonna be fun. All right, let's just go there.
See if you can move your thing. You should be able to. I hope.
I am not able to grab it apparently.
Okay. We'll figure it out later.
Okay. Yeah. Moved right there, and because it's close quarters, I am going to use my rapier to attack that.
You got it.
That is probably not going to do anything. That is a 15 to hit. Nope, 13. Sorry.
13.
Mhm.
That is going to hit.
Oh, okay. Sweet. Six points of piercing damage.
All right.
And then that will be what I do.
All right. You stride inside, following after Tanith. Leaping forward and drawing your rapier, you drag a slash across from shoulder to shoulder, leaving a decent-sized bleeding wound across the front of this creature. That brings us to the big one. It stomps forward towards you, Tanith. It's not massively taller than the others, but 4 arms stretch from its torso, much wider and heavier than all the rest, wearing metallic armor of sorts, severely heavier than the rest of them. Not bearing a weapon. Instead, it just comes towards you, fists raised, and it swings. And that is going to be a 16 to hit.
That meets my AC, so that'll hit.
All right. So he's going to hit you for... That's going to be 3 damage as he swings again. This time a 19.
That is definitely going to hit.
For another 3 as 2 fists just land squarely into your chest, one into your shoulder. You just feel the weight of these like bricks into your body as they just impact.
I dodged the one guy and just sort of backed into him.
And that brings us to Edwin.
Hooray. From where I am, can I see into that front part of the cave?
Kind of, but as you enter the cave, it does slope downward, so to see the group of them would be a little difficult from here.
Okay, can I stand right at the mouth of the cave, say...
You muted yourself.
Forgot I can't click off of Zoom, or just not let me do anything. Can I walk to where I am now, like right at the mouth of the cave, and see down where they are?
Yeah.
Okay, so where I am now, I'm going to cast Hold Person on the big one.
Nice.
All right, that's a wisdom save, right?
Correct.
And that is going to be a 17.
Okay,
Oh.
yeah, he saves.
Muted.
I know, I'm talking to myself anyways.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna sit here and take the do nothing else because I can't cast anything else.
All right. Well, that takes us back up to the top, Stefano.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna. The ground is like. Is it like mud or dirt? Or sand?
Think like sand anywhere that isn't tropics. So it's that kind of mixture of sand and rocks and gravel and.
Gotcha. I'm gonna grab a pawful and throw it in his eyes.
All right.
Try to blind him.
Make an attack throw.
All right. What modifiers do I add to it?
Add dexterity on this one.
All right. So that's gonna be a 9.
As you grab just a big scoop in your hand, and as you go to throw it, instead of spreading and creating a blinding wave or hitting him in the eyes, it kind of just slaps him in the chest, this big blob of dirt.
And with that, I'm gonna disengage.
All right.
I'm gonna move over here.
All right. Anything
Just
else
like-
from you?
I'm good. Helped him pull his outfit together, so
All right, Tanith, what are you up to?
Having just been punched twice in the face, I just like kind of rub it as I look to him and then look to the guy like next to me. It's like, okay, 2-on-1 then. I'm just gonna focus my attention on the big guy. I'm gonna bring my rapier in a bit of a flourish, and as I do, I sort of like feint the attack and instead just hit him with a shocking grasp from my left hand.
All right.
getting all fancy with combat maneuvers.
Does a 12 hit?
Does a 12 hit?
Oh wait,
Hmm?
shocking grasp. I think that gives advantage if my opponent is wearing metal armor.
That is true. You do have advantage.
Sweet. Okay, much better. 17.
All right, that's going to hit.
Awesome.
Deal some damage.
And that is going to be 8 lightning damage.
All right. As you feint this attack and just connect your hand against one of the thick arms of this thing, it just jolts and you see it stiffen as this blast of electric energy courses through its body, and it shakes its head dazed for a second, and it cannot take reactions until its next turn.
I'm just gonna get a little fancy with it, just like hold my arms open, like, come on.
You're going to taunt him. All right.
Gets critted on.
All right, that is going to bring us to the Sahagins' turn. They are going to close in here.
Oh boy.
And let's see here. All right. So there's going to be 2 attacking Malcolm here. That is going to be a 13 and a 6.
No on both.
Nice.
All right. And then we've got 1 attacking Tanith. That's going to be a 5. And that is going to end their turn, which brings us to Malcolm.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna do this. Well, actually, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to use my bonus action to draw the blade along my hand. And as I do, I'm going to activate my Crimson Right on the blade. The Right of the Flame.
All right.
And then I am going to attack when I had attacked before. That one.
Perfect.
That is going to be a 19 to hit.
That'll do it.
And so now that is going to be 9 points of piercing damage with 1 point of fire damage.
All right. So as you draw the blade along your hand, and the blood rings along the sharpened edge, it starts to heat and burst into this lick of flame down the edge of the blade. Then you swing it across, catching shoulder to hip, this long drag across the center of this disgusting fish man as blood and bits of skin get torn off and burned. He's still kicking, but he's hurt.
All right.
And that brings us to the big guy. And he is going to take his 2 swings. It's Tanith. And that is going to be a 16 and a 17 to hit.
I would like to use shield.
All right, you want to use a reaction to cast shield?
Yep.
Cool. And what does that put your AC to now?
That would put my AC to 21.
All right. So as you see him barreling down again towards you, you instinctively raise your hand, and this barrier of energy to life in front of you, as he connects his fists into it, you hear this as he tries to swing forward, but the energy from your shield holding him back just enough. And that's going to be his turn as we go to Edwin.
I smirk and I just bring up my little blade to be like,
Okay, so as an action, I'm going to cast Toll the Dead on the one that Malcolm just attacked.
All right.
That's a wisdom save.
Wisdom save, yes. That is going to be a 13.
That's my DC.
Ah.
So other than that, I'm going to use my bonus actions to cast Healing Word on Tanith.
All right.
That's 7 healing.
All right, Tanith, you don't see him behind you, but you feel this warmth begin to just fill from your chest, and your wounds start to close as you feel the presence of Edwin's magic come over you. And that will take us back to the top with Stefano.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to swing at this guy, the one Malcolm hit.
All right.
That's going to be a math.
Is it above a 9?
That's a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that's going to hit.
All right. So stabbing at him with my dagger. Oh, wait, that's... Oh, sweet, that's sneak attack. Wow. 13 damage.
All right, 13 damage, and as you lunge forward, reaching past Malcolm, your blade sinks through its chest, and you tear it out, bringing a chunk of flesh with it as it falls to its knees and collapses to the floor in front of you. Another one down.
Perfect. I'm going to use my movement to step right here, and then I'm going to cunning action stealth.
All right.
Okay, that's a 24.
All right.
he just buries himself in the...
You do your best to hide in the middle of 2 enemies on the beach. All right, and that brings us to Tanith.
Oh, man. This is not this big guy's day. I'm just going to look to him as just like, now really try to hit me, but I'm going to say that in Elvish.
Oh my God, Tanith.
And that is a 18
And 18's going to hit him.
with my rapier.
All right.
And that's 6 damage.
All right, you swing and draw a good gash across his side and draw some blood. Anything else from you?
I'm kind of just like I've got my one hand on my hip now, just turned like full duelist type stance.
All right.
Having a good time with this one. This reminded me of the old days.
Back at the academy. All right, these are going to shift down as one is going to lunge for Stefano after seeing it take down his friend. And that's a 22.
That hits.
All right, and with that, it's going to be... That's going to be 6 damage as it lunges forward with the spear and catches you in the side.
Didn't he stealth?
I did stealth.
He did stealth. Well, he tried to stealth in the middle of the beach. There's only so stealthy you can be.
Yeah.
And
I'm not a
Malcolm, the one for you is going to... It's a 10.
Me?
Yes.
Misses.
All right, it lunges for you, but you're ready and you deflect and parry with your sword. And moving next, we come to your turn.
All right. So. Am I able to switch to my pistol and still attack, or what's your ruling on weapon switching?
Drawing. I always count drawing weapons as just a bonus action. So
Okay.
I think you're fine.
All right. So I'll keep my rapier out, but I'll switch it over to my offhand. I'm going to back up to there. Take that risk.
To where? Sorry.
Just back one space over here.
Cool.
Yep.
All right,
Oh,
and
no.
it will get his attack of opportunity.
Yep. Go for it.
That is going to be a 15.
Misses.
All right. You narrowly sidestep the spear as he lunges forward again.
And so I'm going to pull out my pistol with the bonus action. And I am going to shoot that one.
All right.
That is going to be a 15 to hit
That'll hit.
for 6 piercing damage.
All right. 6 pierce. As Malcolm steps back and withdraws, which to some of you is a completely new device in some ways, a small cylinder with a trigger. And as he pulls it, this loud crack echoes through the cavern as a bullet flies and cuts a hole through the shoulder of the creature in front of you, Stefano, tearing through it and blasting out the back this chunks of gore. And that'll bring us to the big guy.
Look around.
All right, Tanith. He's going to take one swing at you, and that's going to be a 20 to hit.
Oh yeah, the gunshot.
I am going to... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Tanner.
Oh.
No, I was just saying the gunshot made me flinch.
Okay. I'm going to use my reaction. That's the big guy that's attacking?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to use my reaction to activate my Blood Maledict, Blood Curse of the Eyeless. And I'm going to amplify it. I'm going to take some damage. 3 damage to me. So he now has disadvantage on that attack and the following attack.
All right. So that'll change that to a 9. So his first swing misses, and he's going to lunge forward to try to bite, which is going to be... That is a 15.
That is one short of my AC.
And with the Blood Maledict, he just... This haze clouds his eyes as he starts to swing, and the first punch goes wide, and being unable to see, he just lunges his head forward and snaps the air inches from your face. This rows of just sharp teeth, like the inside of a shark's mouth, as spittle flies into your face. And that brings us to Edwin.
So, same thing as before. I'm going to cast Toll the Dead. Big guy this time.
All right. That is a 4.
Okay, so he takes damage. And since he's taken damage, correct?
He has taken damage.
Okay, so it's a D12 instead of a D8. Takes 3 whole damage.
All
Nice.
right.
I believe so. I want to say that's plus.
Toll the Dead is a cantrip, yeah?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, you shouldn't add anything to it. I think if you're talking to us, you're muted again.
I can't. It's so hard to figure out. So I just click off of stuff.
You can just leave
but-
your mic open.
I know. I like to push the talk though.
Fair
I
enough.
always mess with stuff. So after doing that, I'm going to cast as a bonus action. I'm gonna pull out a small silver mirror and point it over in the direction of Stefano and cast Sanctuary.
All right. And go ahead and tell us what that one does here.
So creature within range against attack. Until the spell ends, any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or a harmful spell must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature must choose a new target.
All right. Stefano is harder to hit now. They have to be wise to hit him. Anything else from you, Edwin?
That's it. I'm gonna stay where I am.
All right. Now we're back up to Stefano.
All right. I was paid 15 gold to protect this naive person. And him taunting is making my job a little harder. So I'm going to go ahead and stab at the big guy.
All right.
That's going to be a 16.
That'll hit.
Badass. All right. $16 damage.
All right. As you see the way he... Here, hold on. Seeing him snap so close to Tanith's face, you turn around and swing, and you catch him across the throat into the chest and drag this long, jagged edge through him, and it starts to bleed, cascading down the body under the armor and soaking into the bits of rags. As it turns to you, this haze still over its eyes, these just blood-red spheres that seem to lock in your direction, but are having a hard time focusing on anything. And that... Is there anything else from you?
No.
Alright, that
Okay.
brings us to Tanith.
Tanith just looks like, probably for the first time since you guys are traveling, he actually looks mad as he looks at this thing that just tried to take a bite at him. And he's just going to rear back his left hand and cold clock it right across the face with a shocking grasp.
Alright.
Okay. That's going to be a 13.
13. You do have advantage because of metal armor.
Ah. Hard to remember sometimes. Ooh, that is a 21.
And that will hit.
Nice.
And in Elvish again, he's just going to say, back off. This is a very short, angry sort of command, and that is 4 lightning damage.
Alright. Takes the 4. As you... With this outstretched head, you find an easy target as you swing and connect this grasp into the side of its face, the muscles in its neck tensing sharply as it rears upwards. It is now dazed and will have disadvantage, or be unable to react for the next round. Is anyone else hearing like a high-pitched?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Well, there now it's
Just go
gone.
away.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Oh, that's probably on my end then.
I think it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it came back when you started talking.
Oh boy. That's
Check your cables. We might have a loose one. Yeah.
All right. But that will bring us to their turn, and these two are going to make the attack. All right. One of them will have flanking here,
Oh God.
and that is going to put him to 16 to hit.
But he has to make a wisdom save.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I failed that wisdom.
That is a
save.
20.
God damn it.
I tried.
All right. So that's. You said he got a. What did he get?
He got a 17.
Oh yeah, he hits.
And that is going to be 4 damage as the spear connects into the other side, jamming its way, tearing a hole in your clothing and drawing blood that starts to seep down your side. The other one is going to fail his wisdom save, and there's no one else he can attack in range. So he will have to move over to attack Tanith. That's going to be a 10, though. He's going to miss. Which brings us to Malcolm.
All right. So, I would like to move further into the cave, probably around this area over here if possible.
You could,
sure
but you
about
would
your
provoke
tag.
an attack of opportunity.
I know. I'm
Alright.
feeling risky.
All right. As you run by, he takes a swing, and that is going to be a 20 to hit.
Dirty 20 or nat 20?
Heathen's 20.
Okay. That'll hit.
But it will only be hitting for 3 damage. As you run by, he swings the jagged spear out, catching you along the thigh and just raking a painful wound, but nothing too serious.
All right. And then that is most definitely within range, I believe. Yeah. I'm gonna shoot. Same guy I've been shooting that guy.
All right.
That is a Heathen's 20.
All right.
And that is 7 damage piercing.
All right. Again, this loud crack echoes through the cavern as this time, Stefano, flying in front of you, you hear this that just slams into the side of the creature, blasting chunks of gore off of its body.
Hey, be a little more careful, huh? Don't hit in my face.
One word too much.
You're breaking my heart.
And we got the big guy, which Blood Maledict only lasts 1 turn, yeah?
Yeah, that was it.
Cool. All right.
2 attacks.
This time, he's going to turn to Stefano.
Oh God, I can't take this.
And that is a 16 on, or 15 on wisdom.
Always good to hit.
All
God
right.
damn it.
So he's going to make his 2. One of those is going to be a nat 1. The other is going to be a 20. Not a nat 20.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that hits. Barely. Just barely.
All right, and the first swing comes in and it catches you square in the chest for 6 damage as it impacts with this heavy thud.
Oh God,
The second
I'm
one, you end up doubled over from the first hit, and the second one swings over the top, impacting the creature next to you as it sends a fist wildly over your head and into it in its wild swinging. Dealing 4 damage to its own guy. Which brings us now to Edwin.
Okay. So, for an action first, I'm going to use Channel Divinity on the big guy. And he is marked for death. Let's see. Mark creature's life force for termination as action. You can choose 1 creature you can see within 30 feet, cursing it. Till the end of your next turn, the next time you or an ally of yours hits the cursed creature with an attack, the creature has vulnerability to the attack's damage.
All right.
And then as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Hold Dead on the big guy again.
Do it. That is going to be That's going to be a 14 on his wisdom.
Well, then I don't do any damage to him.
But he is marked. You
He
have
is marked. So
successfully
whoever would
marked
like
him.
to hit the hell out of him.
Which brings us... Anything else from you?
Nope, I'm staying where I am. I'm good in this little beginning of the cave.
All right. Stefano.
All right, only an asshole goes for the cheap shots in the stomach, so I'm going to go ahead and stab him in the face.
All right.
That's going to be a 13 to hit.
That is not going to hit.
Dang it. All right. All right, it's a little much for me, so I'm going to disengage.
All right.
I'm going to come back here so that I'm nice.
Hello, what's up?
I'm too close to death.
As you draw your weapon doubled over, you make a swing to try and stab for its face and whiff, just skittering off the armor on its chest, and just seeing the look of hatred on its face, you just kind of jump back and sprint away. Which brings us to Tanith. I think you're muted, man.
Sorry.
There we go.
So the big guy in the armor just tried to take a bite out of my guide and bodyguard and future best friend.
Yep. Well, he didn't try to take a bite out of him. He just landed a hit square to his torso and then whiffed wildly and hit his own guy.
Tanith is pissed now. And now this is gonna happen. He's one hand just lights up with lightning as he just reaches out and grabs him and tries to grab that guy by the throat with a shocking grasp.
All right.
That is okay. And with advantage, that is going to be a 17.
That'll do it. And it is vulnerable to this damage.
And that is going to be 4 lightning damage.
So you're going to take 8 as you reach out. And in your attempt to grab its throat, your hand is not big enough to even really get a solid grip on the thick, just gargantuan neck that this thing has. And you close maybe about a third of the way around its neck. But it's enough contact to send another blast of electricity through its neck as you see the muscles in its shoulders and neck just tense, cramping in this pain as it rears back. Once again, he no longer has a reaction.
But then I'm going to use action surge.
All right.
And I'm going to reach out with my other hand and use shocking grasp again. As I just tell it, "You're going nowhere," as it sort of just like leans back a little. That's a 8 and a 2. So that's a 8 plus 5 is 13, which I think misses.
Yeah, that will miss.
Damn it.
So as you reach out a second time and it's rearing back, you just can't get a grip good enough to actually land an attack. And that will take us to these. And this one is going to run after the two of you, while this one shifts into a better position here. And the one that will attack Malcolm will swing, and that is a 9.
Nope.
And the one attacking Tanith will swing for a 19.
Yep.
Alright, that is going to hit you for 6 damage. As he brings the spear into your side from behind you, ripping this hole in your clothes and jabbing, and you can see the part of the blade begin to kind of poke out from your side as it rips it back and blood starts to pour.
Just instinctually try to wince away from it.
Which, that will bring us to Malcolm's turn.
All right. Feeling risky again, so we'll see what happens. I'm gonna move there.
All right.
Yep.
And that is going to miss with a 7.
Yep. All right. And so I'm going to Use my bonus action to activate my Crimson Right on my pistol this time.
All right.
See how much damage I take from that. Okay, not. As I kind of use a spike that was on the end of the pistol just to kind of like jam it into my leg really quick to activate that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to shoot the guy that just attacked me.
All right.
I think that's gonna hit with like a 23.
Yep. Yeah, you're gonna hit him.
So that is going to be 11 points of piercing damage and 2 points of fire damage.
All right. So as you activate your right, you see these flames begin to kind of lick their way out of the barrel of your gun as you aim and pull the trigger with, again, just this echoing boom that flies forward and tears its way through it, and you see these singe marks around where the impact was as this burning pushed beyond the bullet itself and tore into the flesh of the creature. Anything else from you?
Nope, that's it.
All right, that brings us to the big guy. So he's going to make his attack against you, Tanith, and that is going to be a 13 on the first one. And he is going to lunge for a bite, which is a 17.
Ooh, yeah, that's hits.
All right, that is going to be... All right, as he hits you for 7 damage. You sidestep the fist, but from above you, where previously was this twitching, convulsing heap of muscle that was fighting against the electricity you'd sent coursing through its body, this maw slams down into your shoulder and neck area, the teeth tearing in, and you feel it just trying to rip a chunk out of your shoulder as it pulls back.
Ooh.
And that brings us to Edwin.
Okay. So, seeing Tanith have a rough time, I'm going to cast Healing Word on him once again. For 5 healing. And then, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Bane on the 3 that are left.
All right.
As I sort of prick my finger for a moment with a small piece of metal off my armor, I'm going to cast Bane on them. If they fail, anytime they make an attack roll, they have to make a charisma saving throw. Or they have to make a charisma saving throw now. Anyone that fails, for the time that the spell is up, they have to make a d4 and subtract it on any attack rolls.
Cool. All right.
I'm feeling a little more confident.
No successes.
Cool.
So all of them are baned. All right,
That's
Tanith,
all I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here.
as the blood that just began to pour down your shoulder, you feel the wound begin to close and the blood stops. The part of your shoulder still soaked well red, but not very noticeable considering most of your clothes are already red.
Yep.
And that brings us to Stefano.
All right, so I'm going to shoot this guy. You guys might say it's a cheap shot. I say it's an opportunity in the knee. I'm going to stop him from being an adventurer.
All right.
That's going to be a 24 to hit.
You're going to condemn him to his life as a town guard. Roll damage.
That's right. He has vulnerability, right?
Are you shooting the big guy?
Yeah.
No, that only lasted 1 turn.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Or it lasted 1 attack.
Yes.
Darn. All right. So that's going to be 17 damage.
17. You impact the knee, and you see like he collapses downward, slamming into the dirt very heavily, and the wounds had just begun to pour, and the blood ran enough that was enough to do its toll, and he falls to the ground dead.
Yes.
Which brings us
All right.
to left.
I'm good there.
All right. And Tanith.
That was a lot of hurt, but he's dead finally. I'm going to take a moment to take in a breather, use a bonus action to cast, to use my second wind.
All right.
Ooh, 10. So that would put me back up to full.
Nice.
Nice.
There you go.
That real fast. And then as I just like take that moment to catch my breath and roll my shoulders for a sec, seeing that it's healed, I'm just going to spin on my heel and stab this guy in the face.
All right.
Okay, does a 14 hit?
It does.
Awesome. And that is going to be 5 piercing damage.
All right, you spin on your heels, and with a deft stroke of your blade, you cut through the throat, slicing it open as blood pours, the eyes go wide, and it falls to the ground.
Oh, excellent.
Which, now it brings us to the last one here, seeing as you have brought down all of its fellows, it begins to run. And as it hits the water, it dives downward, disappearing below the surface. Although you can still see, being that it's not super far away, there is still an outline and a shimmer and a slightly distorted image from where you are. And that brings us to Edwin.
How far away is he?
From you right now, he is about 40 feet.
I can still cast Cold Dead on him, so I'm gonna do that.
All right. Well, that's a cool little tool. Where is that?
Oh, the ruler?
Yeah.
It's the, like, circle thing
With the little.
underneath the magnifying glass.
Ah, well, he failed his wisdom save.
Okay, so he's gonna take a D12. He has taken damage, correct?
He has. That's cool.
Where did my D12 go? 8 damage.
All right. You see him convulse heavily underwater, his swimming slowing immensely, but there's still this last bit as he's just, it's very slow. He's forcing his way forward, but he's still going. Stefano.
I will,
Oh,
yeah,
is there more you want to do?
I'm just gonna move up to the edge of the water.
Awesome.
That's about it.
Stefano.
I'm going to go ahead and fire an arrow in his direction.
All right. I'm going to give you disadvantage on this one since you're shooting someone
Makes
below
sense.
water.
All right. That's going to be a heathen's 20.
All right. Yeah, that'll hit him.
Alone. So that's just going to be 8 damage.
All right. You tracking him as he ran, you draw an arrow and fire, and it slows as it hits the water, but not enough to stop its impact as it connects, and you see him thrash for a second and then stop moving entirely.
Wheezing because I'm really badly injured. That's the way they call me, a dead shot.
God damn it.
I assume we're out of combat now, correct?
We are. And
All right.
with that, everything quiets for a moment, and you see the area around you now littered with corpses.
I'm going to take a moment just to reload those bullets. Reload the gun.
I'd like to collect my arrows. Well, those that I can. I'm not going in the water.
How many did you fire?
Let's see, I fired off.
That's what, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, 4.
4? Yeah.
One of which is in the water, so I can only collect like 3.
All right, you can find 2 of the 3 that are still intact enough that firing them is easy.
Gotcha. All right.
I just flick the blood off my rapier, and then just start casting one at a time prestidigitation to try and clean off my clothing.
You slowly get there. It's mostly, clean enough. It's certainly not as clean as you're used to, but compared to how it was, it's significantly better.
Yep. And just as I'm doing that, I just looking down at the fishman corpses, and in Elvish only, I'm just gonna just mutter under my breath like, "Pathetic wretches." Sheathe my sword and then go to rejoin the others. Just like, that was more than I thought there'd be. Just looking. Which one of you were doing the thing where it'd make a really loud noise happen out of nowhere?
I'm gonna point to Malcolm.
That would most likely be me. Still holding the pistol because I've just finished reloading.
Thing that you've got there. Just say, like, watching him reload it with a finger up on my chin, like, trying to figure out just from a bit of a distanced observation how it works.
I'm gonna go up to him and go, we color those as thunder sticks. I'll throw a deception check if you want me to.
Thundersticks, huh?
I see. Yes. That right there is a color. The thunder stick is 6,000. It shoots a fire.
Fire? So is it magic?
Yes. Let's see, yes.
Sort of. It itself is not magic.
There's nothing quite like that in Singorn, to be honest. Just, where did you find it? Did you make it?
No, I did not make it. I acquired this in my training, and it became my weapon of choice. But of course, you can't always be ranged, so that's why I also have the rapier.
May I hold it? I say, just holding out a hand.
He wouldn't even have let me hold it. We've been traveling together for some time.
I understand.
Well, also, if I let go of this, the fire damage will go away, and if we need it again.
It only works if he touches it. No one else is going to work with it.
What a wondrous device.
While they're all having this conversation, I would actually like to be moving the bodies of the fishermen and sort of lining them up sort of neatly along the beach.
All right.
As neatly as I can.
The big one is a bit of a task, but you can do it without too much issue.
Just going to, after doing so, just sort of... I'm going to look over the bodies, first of all, see if they have anything worth me even touching.
In digging through, you find, for the most part, stuff that's not very important, but
okay,
just from probably scavenged, you find 34 silver and 23 copper.
Okay. And then after doing so, I'm just, while they're all still having this conversation, unless one of them's coming over, I'm just going to say a small prayer, and then go back to looking about the room.
Are the crates and stuff they were looking through still there, or have they been pretty much transported out by this point?
There's certainly less than there was initially, but there's still a good few there. Just in like a little north alcove, kind of in the northern part of the cave.
Okay. One-handed, as I sheathed my rapier, so the fire's gone, but I'm still holding the pistol. I'd like to go kind of investigate that stuff, search through it a bit.
Yeah. In just looking through the crates and the barrels, for the most part, it's what seems to be either boxes of nets. Some of the barrels seem to contain the day's catch, although ranging anywhere from several days to possibly even several months old.
Oof.
You do see in some of them the boxes look to be from perhaps a trading vessel, as they are more cloths, bits of metal, more trade goods as opposed to just like the things you would find on a fishing trawler. But they're just crates and barrels containing either pretty much fish or loose trade goods.
Okay. I
I know-
relay that info.
I'm gonna be staring at the water, like where the fish guy was swimming. You think that there's more?
More of these things?
Well, they did say like bigger tentacles.
There's a good chance.
Hey, Kimmy.
Looks like that goes in further, so there's probably a reasonable
That is.
consideration we need to make.
I hadn't thought of that. But yeah, you probably right. Just gonna say.
All right. I'm a little injured, so I'm gonna look over at Edwin. You think you can help me a little bit? On Poco?
I'm pretty spent, but I can look over your wounds. See
Even
how-
that would be nice.
Can I see how bad he's injured at the moment?
How badly are you injured?
I am a little bit less than half health.
Yeah, so I mean he looks pretty well harmed, but nothing that's life threatening, but certainly enough that it's a little painful and possibly debilitating.
Okay. Well, if I use this, I have nothing else for the day. So
Oh no! Then you save it. You save it. I'm a good.
all right. Here, I toss him over the 34 silver and 23 copper I found on the corpses. You need this more than I do.
I thank you so much. I'm gonna put it in my coin purse right there.
All right, and Kimmy, after a small skirmish outside, you come in to where the rest of them were after fighting two of them yourself.
You all look fucked up.
You're a little quiet there.
And your
Shit.
your
my
mic's
bad.
coming through pretty
Yeah.
messed up.
As I see her come in, I just like wave, like, hello.
Oh.
Brandon first. Help. I can't help. I'm sorry if you can hear a child screaming. He lives upstairs.
Yeah, there's
You're,
actually there's a lot of it's like feedback or static on the
Yeah.
mic.
Oh no. I need to do that. Okay, hold on. Let me unplug everything and plug it all back in.
Understandable.
All right. So, in the meantime,
I like to just look over to Stefano and just be like, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
I'm just gonna shoot him a little glare and go, All right,
I just smile brightly.
I'm gonna go see if there's anything ahead. If if I don't come back in 5 minutes, come after me. Don't let the fisherman eat my corpse.
5 minutes. Got it.
That is my worst nightmare. Don't let it happen. And then I'm gonna
Body's nice and safe.
go ahead and start swimming.
All right. Give me an athletics check.
Don't fuck up. That is a nat 20.
All right. You know, there's this myth about cats in water, but you've never heard of it because you just jump in and with pretty solid speed, even for someone of your athletic ability, dive downward, and as the light starts to fade away from the outside of this cave, your dark vision kind of takes over as your eyes adjust and you push your way through what is... There is more cave, and it keeps going. There is... Down below, beneath the rocks, there's almost like a tunnel that goes through. And as you push your way through, make a perception check.
Oh, God. That's going to be an 11.
All right. As you push your way through, and you start to go up where you can see not light. As you're going farther in, it's just getting darker. But there is like that faint shimmer of surface to the water. But as you start to get closer, you see movement in the waters off to your right.
Oh, God.
Fish people. Is this any better?
Much
Yes,
better.
it's
Much
much
better. Much
It-
better.
Cool.
Does it?
Apparently,
Does
unplugging everything and plugging it all back in works.
Hey,
I worked in
sometimes.
tech support for a good 3 months. That always works.
True.
Is it swimming right at me?
Not at you, but in this direction.
I'm gonna like try to focus on it to like see if it's a threat, if it's gonna eat me, and if I need to just get out as fast as I can.
Well, all right. So as it starts to get closer and it fades into view, it is not humanoid. It is fish-shaped. You know, fins, no legs, no arms, but it is larger.
Larger than me?
Probably about your size.
Not lunch then. All right.
I mean, you have a few moments before it gets to within probably 50, 60 feet of you, and you can start to make out more detail. It's about 100 feet away at this point.
I am pretty wounded, so I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna you know that thing where you're swimming next to sharks and you don't want them to think you're a seal, so you're kind of just carefully swimming back.
All right.
That's what I'm gonna start doing.
All right. So you start more slowly moving back towards the edge of the cave here. And as you do, they do get close enough, but they're not going straight at you. They start to curve off towards where they were coming from your right in this opening past this tunnel in the rocks. They start moving towards what is to your left, and you do make out the shapes more clearly now. It is a school. There are several of larger finned sharks
Oh God.
that begin to move farther into the cave as you push your way backwards. They do not seem to notice you.
I am so happy I'm not actively bleeding. Okay. I'm so tempted to like try to swim past him, but I don't have the health for this.
Hey, do as you will.
Nope, I was called the scout. They don't seem to notice me.
At the moment, no.
Okay. Shark swim speed is ridiculous. The sharks can swim, so they can outswim a cat. Okay.
In the meantime, just up on the surface, just looking at some of the fish people that we killed, just like, I had a good time.
Yeah. I want to say,
Kick
You
one
actually-
of the dead bodies in the head.
so Malcolm will actually go up to Tanith and say,
Nope. Kimmy, I think you're cutting out. Your video's frozen too.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, the video's unfrozen.
And we heard you. It's doing
My
that
internet
buffering thing.
sucks.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
great. Spinning wheel of death.
Well, it's weird because now at least I can hear you a little more clearly.
Yeah, I can too.
Just have to lean really close to my microphone. That's all this is.
I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit.
Here, wait. Before you continue, as you guys are on the surface, it's been at this point, it's a little over 2 minutes. Which on that you are, Stefano, you are starting to get a little short of breath. You're feeling it in your chest. But what were you guys doing? I know Tanith is enjoying the fact that he just experienced combat.
Combat against something that isn't an elf.
True.
I guess while we're waiting for him to come back, I'm gonna look over the bodies just one more time. What would probably be the best thing to take off of this as a trophy?
I mean, you could take. It depends really on where you wanna go. On the big guy, the teeth are big enough that they could make for trophies. On the smaller ones, not so much. You would probably be better off taking like a fin, a finger, something like that, depending. They don't really have claws on the hands or feet, so it would be like if you're looking for a trophy, it's gonna be like a tail, a finger, fins.
Okay. I will start taking fins off of small ones and then take a large tooth from the big one.
All right.
Whatever
Yeah,
else
just-
anybody else wants to do waiting for Stefano to come back.
I'm just gonna raise a brow as he's doing that. It's like, is that a human thing?
This is how we make our money thing.
Intriguing. I'm not
How
getting
are they going to know we completed our job?
like a nature documentarian. Just watching the strange habits of the human to make money.
Malcolm would have also come over to Tanith and said, you know, you handled yourself really well in that fight.
Oh, it's nothing special. He just kicks the dirt a little. That's kind of what I was trained to do.
Whoa.
So,
We got a lot more static again, and I didn't hear. If you talked, I didn't hear it. I just heard static. Gimme.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, weird. Just like burst of static.
Just shock and grasp going off. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I might have laughed. Sorry.
Oh.
I was laughing at
It's like sometimes you're perfectly clear, and
Yeah.
other times there's static, and I don't know why.
This
Oh,
is
well.
only a $20 microphone off of Amazon. That's probably why.
I mean,
The best thing I got.
whatever. It works. All right, so Stefano, what are you up to?
So, about how long did it take me to swim to this chamber?
It took you a good better part of probably 45 seconds, a minute.
Oh, then yeah, I'm good. Is there land anywhere around me? Like, can I see anything that looks like land?
There are other walls to the rock, but you don't see anything from here that looks like a beachhead, no.
All right, so I'm gonna very slowly, like very carefully, go to the surface so that I can have some breath.
All right. Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Come on, don't you fail me. This is what I'm good at. That's gonna be an 11.
All right. So you go ahead and make some, or rise yourself to the surface, breach the water, and do it as quietly as you can, although your lungs had started to burn, so it's a very rapid intake of breath, just... Around you, it's incredibly dark. There is no daylight here. So as the only thing you can really see being, why are you gonna break? I tried to open a thing, and my computer is telling me it doesn't exist. So, no. Well, let's try this way. There we go. And before you, as you surface just beyond the wall, maybe 5 feet behind you, you see now, with just having the limited dark vision that you do have, to the left of you, you can see the rock kind of gives way to somewhat of a beachhead, and off to your right, you see the water continues for some distance. To your left, maybe 40, 50 feet off is what the beach begins.
All right, so nothing's on the beachhead that I can see?
From here, no.
Okay.
But it is also very dark.
All right, so it's been about 3 minutes, right?
Yeah.
All right, that gives me about, let's say 45 seconds to search. So I'm going to start carefully swimming towards the beachhead.
All right.
And if I see any creatures, I'm going to stop. I'll throw a perception check.
Just so you know, this is towards the beachhead is the direction that the sharks were going.
I couldn't hear that.
Towards the beach, that is the direction that the sharks were going.
How close are they to the surface?
They were probably 20 or 30 feet down.
Okay, so I should, as long as I don't make too big of a splash, I should be good. Right, guys?
Possibly. The water here goes, in these caves, upwards of 60, 70 feet downward.
Okay. How far away am I from the beachhead?
Probably from the spot where you could get up onto the beachhead itself, 30 feet. From the main beachhead, 50 or 60.
Okay, so I'm going to swim to the part where I can get up onto the beach, and I can throw a stealth check if you want.
Yes, please do.
That's going to be a 14.
You'll never know.
I thought that was a 1 for a second, nearly had a heart attack.
All right. So you start swimming, and you see no immediate reactions in the water, and you slowly make your way over, treading water as carefully as you can. It takes you a good 30 seconds to move this 20, 30 feet before you get to where you can pull yourself up out of the water.
Okay. Now I'm limited on time. I need to be back within 5 minutes. I'm going to say 2 minutes on the way. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a perception check to see if I see anything now that I'm actually there.
All right.
God, that's going to be a 5.
In the darkness of the cave, it's kind of hard to make out anything beyond the rock walls. On the beach, you can see that there is something. Can't really tell if it's moving. There's a shape that doesn't match the shape of the wall, but it's all so dark that it kind of looks the same.
All right, so I'm going to get down real low, and I'm going to sneakily make my way closer.
All right.
Possible greed sense is going off.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
I got an 11.
All right.
The dice are telling me to stop.
Considering it's getting lower each roll.
But now I'm really scared to go by those sharks again.
You start to get closer, and you can move 10, 15 feet upwards before you can make out at least a little bit more of it, just being this kind of strange looking, they almost look like carved out rock. It's hard to make out a lot of detail, but there's 3 of them, as you can see, as they kind of spread apart as you got closer, set maybe 3 or 4 feet apart, and they're just these stone carved obelisks almost, but they're only like 3 feet tall.
Hold on, I can't hear you.
Hold on.
Kimmy, your mic is giving off the feedback. Thank you.
They sit about 3 feet tall with a decently flattened, or at least flattened as well as you can with rough tools on the top. And you see there are objects set atop them of very strange shapes and sizes, but nothing that you can make out too clearly.
I gotta go closer.
At this point, it has been about 4 minutes.
I know, but these things could be worth something.
All right. You know what to do.
Yep. Okay, that's going to be a 17.
17. All right. As you move closer, what are you doing here?
I'm heading towards I'm still like crawling across the
Right.
sand, like trying to keep myself as out of profile as possible. But I'm definitely heading towards the obelisks. If I can get close enough, and if I don't see anyone else around, I'm gonna try and snatch whatever's on top of there.
Okay, give me a perception check.
That's gonna be an 11.
11. So as you start getting closer, you do not see anybody in the immediate vicinity. Nothing really seems to be moving. And are you looking to just get up and take something off the top? Are you just grab it and are you just looking for like the first thing, or are you trying to see what's up there?
I'm gonna try and see what's up there.
So as you get close, you move up from the lying prone and crawling into a low crouch that just puts you high enough that you can see. And in getting a couple feet away from these, it's not objects, it's body parts. Hands, arms, some of them there's even just chunks of flesh placed. In some parts you see what looks like it might be part of a face. Various shapes and sizes, all of these adorned with body parts.
I am noping out of there. I'm gonna go ahead and just drop down again and start crawling as quickly as I can without getting any attention to me towards the water.
All right.
And I'm gonna tell. That's gonna be a 16.
All right. Getting in the water and swimming towards the thing?
Yeah, but I'm gonna be careful. I don't know if the sharks are there. I'm gonna kind of go under the water and swim forward.
Okay. Give me another stealth check.
That's gonna be a 10.
It's going to be a 10.
I'm getting closer to a 1, guys.
All right. So you move forward, so where you just saying just below the surface where you remember this tunnel opening to be.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just above it, but you're still near the surface. At this point, it's been 4:30, 4:45.
All right, so I'm going to do a quick little scan. I will throw a perception check for those sharks. That's going to be a 10.
10. In looking around, you do not see them.
Okay, I'm gonna swim as fast as I can, including the little feline agility to get through the tunnel.
Give me an athletics check.
That is going to be. I actually have to look this up this time. That's going to be a 16.
16. All right. Throwing stealth to the wayside, the fur on the back of your neck standing up as you get scared, not knowing where these sharks are. You tear through the water, and after which before he comes up, in following 3 minutes from the last time, is there anything you guys would like to do?
I guess we were probably have just been chit-chatting. You tried to ask me something, I would think. I'm not sure if I answered it.
I didn't ask you anything. I assumed that whole 5 minutes I would have been just taking those pieces off of those
Yeah.
creatures.
Oh yeah, the fins.
Yes.
And
I was just watching him do it.
Yeah.
Fascinated by this strange ritual. Of just cutting off body parts. As far as he can tell.
at some part, I most likely would have gone and offered to help with the carving up of body parts. To help him with that removal of the fins.
All right. And Soraya, anything you would like to do?
Nope.
All right.
I'm
So-
watching. This is all disgusting to me.
So as you guys finish, and you know the clock has started to kind of dawn on you that it's been 5 minutes, and it starts to, as the seconds pass beyond 5 minutes, a little bit of worry starts to set in until 15-30 seconds afterwards, as you start to contemplate that maybe you are going to need to go after Stefano. He bursts out of the water in a panic and swims forward, climbing onto the beach.
There's a sharks down there. There's some obelisks. They sacrifice things. I don't know. It's not a good place.
That sounds horrifying.
Well, then I think we've stayed our welcome then. I, for one, believe that this is enough. If there's no more fishmen, at least as far as you can tell, other than sharks.
As far as I can tell, there's only sharks and some kind of a sacrificial place.
We don't need to go any further in my mind.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. We've completed the job. Job well done, everyone.
Oh. Yay.
How many when you first came scouting in here, Stefano? How many did you initially see? When you ventured in and then came back and then
The very first time, it was a
Yeah.
3. I saw 3 of them, but I did not to see the large one. When I came in earlier, I only saw 2. But yeah, Stefano's he's gonna see that they've been collecting fins and just not run out, but definitely mom in the mall speed walk out.
I will follow because I'm taking his lead on it. He's the one showing me how this venturing stuff works.
Just get it done just enough.
all right.
We need to collect Merrick as well. Sierra, is Merrick still outside?
Yes.
No, I
He
did not see him.
You can assume he went and found some interesting things that he pursued while you were busy. Soraya, before you got into your fight, he told you that he would meet you back in town after he investigated something.
Huh. Okay. I guess we'll see him back in town then.
Be safe. How do we get back to town?
That is an excellent question. That is an excellent question.
We walk. We have a feet. We have a legs.
It's not too far of a walk. What time is it now?
At this point, 1 in the afternoon.
We should be able to make it back before sunset.
Oh, Soraya, did you take the fins off these 2 outside?
I'm going to motion to my slime-covered backpack.
Perfecto. And I am heading towards town. As we go, I'm gonna go. How about we it's not the part of the job to mention the other things. We say we saw some fishmen, we took them out. See, I mean, all other information, it is superfluous, not necessary.
We can mention that there are parts further in the cave, but they are mostly underwater. And as far as our surveying showed, there were no more of this fish-like creatures anymore.
I like you.
Well,
Anything anyone else wishes to do before you head off? All right. So you guys gather your things and start to make your way back towards town, and that's where we'll take 5 minutes here.
All right, perfect.
all right.
So go ahead and, grab a drink, hit the restroom, do what you need, and we will be back very shortly.
We might have just damned this village to a demonic invasion, but we took care of the fish people, and that's all that matters.
I'll be honest, I was this close to saying we should go further, but
I'm not messing with sharks. I have 10 HP.
I have. I'm still
Brag.
sitting at 25.
Brag.
But my main weapons will not work underwater. The downside, 2 pistols.
I think this is gonna be nice. Easiest earning of 100 gold that Stefano's ever had.
I was worried you were gonna drown more than you were gonna get eaten by a shark.
I actually have a pretty decent Constitution score. Like my Dex, Charisma, and Constitution is nice. Everything else is bad.
Well, there's, you can hold your breath for about 4 minutes under pressure. It's not comfortable, but you can do it. And I mean, that's assuming no training. You know, with training, I think the record's like 13 or something disgusting.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah,
So
I also have a -1 in Dex and heavy armor, so I wasn't on the water.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, guys. I can.
Instantly drowned.
Basically, your guy would have been like, so before you go in the water, here's guidance for everyone. But
And I'll see you when you come out.
If you need healing, just swim back to the mouth of the cave.
That'll be
and I'll be
easy.
here.
I'll be right here. Wait.
And if you guys don't come back in an hour, I'll assume you're dead, mourn you, but be on my way.
Does one of you have sending? No? Well, I guess I'll just wait.
I'll give you guys 2 hours tops.
You know, actually, I'm starting to get hungry. I'll give you 10 minutes.
Oh man.
I, for a second there, legitimately thought Stefano was gonna die.
Well,
Yeah.
the sharks, for their perception, rolled a 2, a 3, a 5, and then a 2.
Oh
So-
my god! I was so.
No, yeah, I was kind of waiting for it to happen, and then it was like, well, guess fine.
For those last few rolls, for most of those rolls, I didn't break double digits.
Yep.
Like,
Thankfully,
That was-
neither did they.
oh man.
Don't you usually die by drowning anyway with your previous
That's
characters?
barbarian.
That's what I was
That's
saying. I was like,
barbarians.
No, the
I was
curse
saying that
carries
you're gonna
over.
die. I was more worried you were going to die from drowning than by sharks because you have a track record.
That's why I made my
I was-
constitution score so high.
I was waiting for Nathan to be like, there is no air bubble.
Yeah, when you get to the top and it's like,
just
that shimmer was the
rock.
ceiling.
The sonic drowning music. God, I hate that music. Whenever I have nightmares about drowning, like that's the music that plays.
I mean, of course. What else?
God.
Like,
It's supposed to be no music. I'm supposed to drown in silence, but now all I hear is that sonic song getting faster and faster. And sued.
No, it wasn't 10 seconds long. We're fine.
So when you noped out of the water, like out of the ritual area, which of course Malcolm doesn't know was there unless you told everyone in detail.
Oh no, I just said it was scary and I was
yeah.
brave.
But I said that's a big nope action. And then I think one of your friends, Morgan, actually asked you, how does it feel rolling under 10 all night?
Ah, it's so bad. It's so bad. I don't feel good at all. I was so confident. I have a +7 to like minimum. Oh, I have a +9 to stealth. I've been subtracting 2 from it. I have like a +7 to everything in Dex. And I'm rolling so bad.
So close. But no.
Oh, man.
I mean, hey, you were lucky. They rolled incredibly poorly on perception.
Oh, man. Someone out there loves Stefano. I mean, who doesn't love Stefano? He's just a friendly guy.
Well,
Smart.
I guess the sharks are using eyesight rather than sense of smell, so that works.
I saw that cat cheating at cards. I don't trust him any farther than I can throw him, and my
That's
strength
pretty
is
hard.
an 11.
I'm not
maybe-
very far.
I
Just
mean,
far
that is,
enough.
that is fair. You have been caught red-handed cheating at cards.
But she didn't say anything,
True.
so I don't know. And no one else knows either.
No one else knows.
And if
To
she
everyone
accuses
else,
me,
you
I'll
are
just
an
say,
honest
which
gambler.
time?
Which time?
I mean,
I
I don't cheat at
literally-
cards.
I've only known you for like a day, so there aren't that many times.
That is also true. In one day, you've already seen him cheat at cards, lie to somebody else, extort a random guy
Perfect role model.
who now wants a best friend rather than an extortionist.
I heard Kenneth say "best friend" on my way home, and I started laughing, and my mom couldn't understand.
I don't think anyone can understand.
Stefano doesn't understand.
Hey, all that matters is that Stefano gets paid, right?
That's it. That's all that matters. He's got some expensive dreams. Tanith better come from royalty.
Wasn't your first action to like buy this cheap, shitty-looking metal
Don't
ore?
worry about what he bought. That was before he met his golden goose.
But yes.
But yes, that still happened.
It's,
I was there.
it's gonna be useful. I was tempted to throw it at someone.
All right. Bringing it back in here. So, as you guys make your way to town, night starts to fall, but you do get to the outskirts of town before the sun fully sets, and you make your way into the town to see the same thing that it has been most nights, where things have started to wind down. Many people retreat to the tavern. Lots of people go home. There's still a bit of business down at the port, as it doesn't ever seem to really stop. But for the most part, the town has started to wind down for the night.
Shall we head to the lodge?
That sounds good. My feet could use a rest. That was a longer walk than I thought it was going to be.
It was about 6-7 hours of walking.
Yep. And I would have holstered the pistol by now.
You're just, nope.
Keeping that right
coming
up.
after
Keeping that
us.
right up. Get that fire damage going.
Man. Yeah.
Can we say I was performing a prayer healing while we were walking?
Sure.
Alright then. 2d6.
Prayer feeling.
Prayer feeling.
5. So everybody gets 14
Oh, thank God.
health back.
Almost at full health.
I don't even know if I'm actually damaged.
Brag.
Let's see here.
I wasn't damaged.
I was damaged
According
only.
according to the completely random roll, you are not damaged.
You're at 1 HP.
Yeah, you
I'm going to
barely.
need you to make a death saving throw.
In fact, actually, why don't you make 5 and tell me which one you get 3 of? Oh no. So what would you guys like to do now that you've returned to town?
I'd say we'd head to the lodge first.
Oh, Stefano needs that bling bling. Put that on his shirt.
I think we have quote of tonight right there. All right, so you guys make your way through the city to the lodge, and as you get there, the place itself seems dark. It doesn't seem like there is, at the very least, much activity there. Building itself is quiet. There's no guards posted outside.
No guards.
I will walk up to the door and sort of briskly knock on it a bit, just to see if anyone answers it.
I just realized I'm missing some of my information. Give me like 2 seconds.
So I'm teaching Tanith all about the Thunderstick 6000.
Okay. By all means, what?
I am listening with bated breath.
So the weapon was crafted by the gods, and it's made for each person who can wield it at birth. It's made so only the person who it's made for can hold it and pull the trigger. Otherwise, you're gonna die instantly. These things are very valuable. Very rare. They can worth up to 1,000,000 gold. Very easy. And that's for a bad one. But as I said, these are made for a people, so they're more of a show items. More of a, look, I took out someone the gods made a weapon for.
I can guarantee you the matron did not make those weapons.
Well, see, some gods are more involved than others. I'll throw a deception check if you want.
Yeah,
Well,
go ahead for me.
I mean, yeah,
what?
for
Sure. Yeah.
I'd say
That's-
Tanith, if you would like to make an insight check, do so with disadvantage.
That's going to be a 19.
19.
24.
You know he is layering his words with bullshit.
Do I even need to make an insight check?
No, you watched the weapon be built. You do not have to.
Say that I rolled a 7.
All right. So, as far as you can tell, while it's a little strange, and you're kind of like measuring it against what you know of religion and gods, and it certainly doesn't line up. But it's also something you've never seen before, so you're not quite sure how honest he's being. But you don't have any better information.
I have my notebook out.
I love how his guidebook's going to be filled with stuff.
I am writing all the things he's just salty about the Thunderstick.
Oh my god.
Little doodles.
You-
This
We're
book.
literally headed to the birthplace of this weapon next.
Wait,
With
he
surprisingly
cut out a
realistic
little bit
Hold
there,
on,
Kimmy.
guys.
drawings of
But so after a moment, hearing Stefano explain his vast knowledge of black powder weaponry as you walk, you get there and Edwin walks up and knocks on the door, and after a moment you do see a bit of fainter light kind of like approach, and the door opens and you see Elisaline, the female human that was a part of the lodge when you had your original meeting, holding a small lantern in her hand. Just, I'm late on the hour. What, I'm the only member here currently. Do you have news?
We had killed them all.
Task has been completed.
That quickly?
Correct.
Down to me?
Yes.
I am Stefano Lucasio, Deadeye, from Whitestone. Nobody doubts me.
I'm gonna pull out a few of the fins I have in my pack and just sort of hold them up.
it was fish people.
Well, that much we have heard before, and you, she says, pointing to Stefano, you I doubt. Those I can't say I do. Do please come in. I'd like to hear about what happened. She leads
As
you.
we're walking in, I'm going to sort of lean over to Tanit. This is why we cut them off.
Oh.
I'm also going to lean into Tanith.
That always starts something good.
She's gonna make. I'm gonna whisper this so like she can't hear. She's gonna make a scarf out of these. It's gonna be a very fashionable.
I just want to point out this is now an angel and devil situation.
A little bit, yeah.
You're both
Amazing.
leaning on my shoulder.
God, dude, it's gonna be so screwed up.
Just a totally warped perception of anything that is current.
I think my favorite thing about this though is that he's writing everything down in his guidebook, and it's gonna be published in Sigurd. So everyone in Sigurd is gonna have like Stefano's lies just everywhere.
There's a realistic drawing of a angel coming out of the clouds holding the exact
You're gonna get exiled.
It's very Renaissance.
Yeah. So as she leads the group of you into the same little chamber where you had met with the lodge initially, and she gestures to where all the chairs are seated around the table. Just take a seat if you'd like, but I am interested in hearing about what happened. Did you find any of the missing folk? Did you find any of the missing ships? What all happened?
Well, we were dropped off near the river basin on the other side of the lake. Doing a bit of looking around, we noticed that there were tracks leading into a small cave just a ways away from the shoreline.
There were a lot of ships there.
There were a lot of wrecked ships there to begin with. I'm sure you've already known some of them met their demise through this means and otherwise just running ashore. But we found some fish folk inside. I'm not quite sure what to call them, but inside we found 4 small, about human-sized fish folk with one larger, who would be some sort of leader among them. And we slayed the lot of them.
Well, that is quite a feat. You should be proud. If these are, hopefully, what was causing the ships to go down, then hopefully we will see less of a... Well, we will hopefully not have another missing ship in any of our near futures. Do you have, by chance, because I do see that you have obviously killed something. I cannot say I recognize what, but it is not something I've seen before. Do you, by chance, have anything to link them to the ships themselves?
Well, the witnesses have said... Well, witness. He laughs at this poorly, just bad joke. The witness said they were a fish people. I can tell you they were a fish people. In fact, I can do this. I'm gonna sketch out a crude map of like where the cave is.
Okay.
You can go here and there are gonna be the bodies. We didn't bury them or anything. There's gonna be the bodies there on the beach on the inside of the cave.
All right.
We didn't quite take anything from the ships back, but there was cargo and crates filled with fish and other goods that were up on the shore inside of the cave.
There was one of them that had a bunch of like cloths and stuff in it.
Well, perhaps that's some of the goods from the trade ship that was headed northwards. With your map, I will dispatch a small regiment of some of our local guard, and perhaps they might find something. If nothing else, it will be good to see if anything changes within this cave. As you've described, it should just be bodies and shipwrecks, but it will be good to... I hope to find it that way when we find it ourselves. I will dispatch them in the morning, and by sundown tomorrow we will know more, but in the meantime, I believe we do owe you some money.
Just a little bit, yes.
She goes into a back room for a moment and spends 5-10 minutes before she comes back with 6 pouches, and she hands them out to all of you. And there was one more, I believe, the dragonborn fellow.
I can hold it. It's okay.
She hands you that money.
Boom, 200 gold.
So, yes, I will, we will check out that cave on the morning, but in the meantime, I would ask that you do not leave just yet until, at the very least, the guards can return, just so that way we know that this is actually taken care of.
Understood.
Of course.
Stefana says nothing.
In the meantime, though, obviously, you're free to do as you wish. The other lodge members will be here in the morning if you wish to speak with them, but otherwise, I just have some simple paperwork and things. I'll be here for a while if you have need of me again.
Perfecto.
Be careful about the water. There are sharks in there.
There shouldn't be sharks. This is an inland lake.
Shut up.
Are you? Where did you see sharks?
Well, there was a underground channel going on underneath, and I swam for a little bit, but then saw a lot of sharks, and so I managed to swim past them, got up on a beach, and didn't really see anything. It looked like there were maybe some more, like the river went on underneath, but I didn't see anything of importance there.
Well, we will have our men be careful, and as best they can, I will try and have them investigate a little farther. Perhaps there might be more to learn in there. If nothing else, maybe we can find a motive for why they were sinking ships.
It could have been that they just wanted the fish.
I don't believe so. There's plenty of fish in this lake, although the population has been declining. More than usual from just fishing, but I suppose we'll have to see.
Who knows? All right. Tanith, can I talk to you for just a moment? I'm going to take Tanith outside. So, Tanith, there's a little thing called don't overshare. You give people exactly what they asked for. Nothing more, nothing less. So next time, if we see something out of the ordinary, but the client didn't ask about it, we don't tell them. It doesn't matter. See?
Oh, okay.
Perfecto. I kind of want to break into a shop.
As after the two of them leave, she looks to the three of you. I'm gonna be honest, I get the sense that you're not telling me everything. And I believe he's kind of in charge of that. What are you not telling me?
Well, other than the river down below the cave, not much that we would know. If he saw anything under there, he didn't really relay it to us, other than there were sharks.
All right. Well, I suppose we will find out tomorrow.
Well, we will be sure to come back.
Please
after
do.
sunrise, after sundown, just to make sure if there's anything more that needs to be done. I'm sure we could help out with it.
Should it be required, I'm sure I can get permission from the other lodge members to reimburse you for your time as before. Should it be required, that is.
Whatever you think is good. I am more than willing to help.
And at this point, are you guys coming back in, or are you just staying outside?
Oh, I'm not going to go back in that room. And most of all, I'm not going to let Tanith go back in that room.
Just trying to go for a second. It worked.
So now, unless you have anything else for me, I should get back to my work.
Seems fit. Have a good night.
And you as well.
I will at least leave.
Yeah, I'll follow.
I'm gonna give her the slimy fish parts from my backpack, and then I'll go.
She takes them with there's a mixture of curiosity and just like, I really don't want to touch this.
It's for her
Neither
scarf.
did I.
There's like as you two kind of like meet gaze, there is a look of absolute understanding between the two of you about these fish parts. So the rest of the party comes outside to where Stefano finishes telling Tanith about the intricacies of hiding information from people.
It's not hiding, it's just not oversharing.
Sure.
Not burdening them with unneeded knowledge.
The sun has set fully and night has fallen over the city. It's probably about 9 p.m.
Well,
So
you should find lodging for the night.
I'm sure we can find a cart or something to take us to Whitestone in the morning.
Well, we need to stay and make sure that The job has been finished.
Oh, we were paid. The job is completed.
Well, under their gratitude, I would at least like to stay and make sure the job is finished. They are going to make sure that there's nothing else to be done. We saw that there were nothing left, but that doesn't mean anything was left. And if there is something left, we should probably finish the job. That's what we agreed to.
I agree with Edwin on this.
Of course you do, Malcolm. You're always in it for the good of people. So you guys are one to fight short.
It's only one more day. We will stay until the end tomorrow, and then we can head to Whitestone. As long as you are still willing to take me up on that offer.
I believe 100 gold was the sum we agreed on.
That's correct.
All right, I can stay.
Well, then we only have one place to go, so we'll start heading towards the creaking boar.
That where everyone's going, or anyone like to do anything else?
I'm going to head out to the docks.
All right. So the four of you head over to the Creaking Boar, and Soraya heads off towards the docks. As the four of you get in, you see that the inn has picked up as normal at this time of night. All the dock workers, all of the merchants, a lot of people just who have come in to have their evening drinks. The place is not packed, but certainly busy, as you all can go in and take a seat, have a drink.
Do I see the captain that took us the day before? Or in the morning?
Yes, you do. He is seated at a table alongside several people who, some of them you do recognize from his ship, and others you don't recognize, probably just other townsfolk.
Okay. I'm just gonna walk up to them. Thank you for your use of your ship this morning. I said I would pay you back, and I'd like to buy you a table around if that's okay with you.
Well, I can't say I'd ever be one to turn down a round of drinks. I don't think anyone else here would oppose either. I'm honestly, want to be honest, I'm kind of surprised to see you back so soon.
I like to get my jobs done quickly. No need to hang around.
Well, fair enough. Well, sit down, join us. We'll have a round for all of us.
I will take a seat and partake.
Just a gold gets the whole table drinks.
Cool.
Anything else for the rest of you?
I would like to teach Tanith how to play cards. But cheat while I'm doing it.
Are you teaching him how to cheat, or are you just teaching him how to play and you're cheating so you always win?
The second one. He's not ready to learn how to actually play cards.
Okay.
But I'd like to get a game started so that I could earn some more silver.
All right. Are you getting other people involved, or just you and Tanith?
I'm going to start out just a round of me and Tanith, if Tanith is okay with it, and then I'll get other people involved.
All right. Tanith, would you like to learn to play cards?
Of course.
All right, so you find an empty table and you sit down, and after a hand or two of dealing with Tanith, and he starts to pick up the game, and the first round is a little confusing for a moment, but by the second game, after you've played a few hands, you're proficient enough at it that you can play without him like looking at your hand and telling you the good moves to do. And after you guys play a hand or two following, you get a couple more sailors that come and join, and you end up with, but after the two of you, another 3 or 4 people around your table all playing cards. And yeah, make a sleight of hand check.
That's going to be a 15.
All right. You managed, as far as you can tell, no one notices that you are dealing from the bottom of the deck.
Yes.
That's
why they call them quick hands.
Deadeye, quick hands. How many names you got?
As many as I want.
All right. Anything, Malcolm?
I don't know how long their game is going to go on.
Probably at least an hour or two.
I would have enjoyed a drink, just kind of relaxing in the tavern, possibly even with Edwin and his group of merry sailors over there.
For sure.
But then after that, I would have unloaded the pistol
A good idea.
and taken it over to Tanith so he could take a look at it.
All right. So after
Unloaded.
right. So you guys have been playing cards for about an hour. You had a drink and shared some stories and talked with all the sailors around the table, and you excuse yourself after you finish yours and set the glass back on the bar and walk over, unloading all the rounds from the gun and placing them in your pocket, and you grab Tanith and hand him the unloaded gun.
You mentioned you wanted to take a look at this earlier.
This is the. I hesitate to try and touch it.
It's quite all right.
When I was told about it.
It's only when you try to use it. I say for my cheating.
Thank you. I look back at it. He is so good at cards.
Yeah, and I mean, Malcolm, as you look, you see Stefano, like, deal out a hand, this time not including Tanith in the deal. They play a little bit, and you see Stefano throw down cards that it's one of those hands that the probability of getting it is way lower than it should be. But this is the second time you've seen him get it tonight.
Okay.
So it's like, you're not sure he's cheating, but it's certainly, he is certainly better at cards than you should be at a random game.
After hesitating for a second, I decided to finally just pick it up. It's like, this is heavier than I thought. Kind of just, you could tell he's never really held a firearm of any sort before. Just keeps turning it over. Looks into the barrel with one eye closed.
Word of advice. Don't ever look down the barrel like that. I, at this point, have removed all the bullets, so you are fine, but never do that with one if you are not sure if it is loaded or not.
Holding it in my hand, can I try to do a little gun twirl?
Sure, make a sleight of hand check. Please tell me it's a nat 1.
Oh, it's a nat 20.
Oh, all right.
Oh, hey.
So you kind of like, after twirling it around in your hands for a moment, you've gotten a feel for like the weight and balance, and the way you did training in Singorn, you trained with all manner of weapons. You have a feel for getting used to the weight and balance of a weapon. So for this one, it's really no different. You take it, and after a moment, you start kind of spinning it around your finger and flip it back, and you start getting a little bit of that kind of cowboy thing going where you kind of hold it down and flip it up and draw it and point it at people. And it's certainly like a child with a gun, but he's a lot better than a child would be.
After finally just having my fun with it, I hand it back to him gently with both hands, being it with the object of most respect. I don't think it really suits me. I just say
It is a weapon that doesn't suit everyone necessarily, but
it kind of reminds me of the hand crossbows they used to have, but those didn't really suit me either. I kind of like using a sword.
completely understandable.
So as you guys go on into your night, Soraya, you make your way down towards the docks after the group splits, and as the night itself kind of starts to come more to a close, the docks are generally quiet, but there are still a few ships where people are loading and unloading some cargo, getting themselves all set for the morning, especially on some of the larger ships where they're looking to make longer journeys. A few of the fishing trawlers are either still pulling in from a larger than usual day's catch, or just repairing nets and trying to get things ready for the morning because they have more work to do than usual. But the docks themselves are still at least busy with activity, but quiet compared to the way they normally are.
Okay. I'm just going to sit at the end of the dock, and for whatever reason, I have a viol.
All right.
I don't know why I have it, but I do, and I'm gonna sit down at the end, and I'm going to play.
Sure. Are you just going to spend the next few hours just kind of like relaxing, sitting, meditating, playing?
Yeah.
All right. So you just...
Feet in the water,
Mm-hmm.
probably. If I can reach it, even. I don't know.
I mean, the docks, it's... The tide is not low. I mean, it's a lake, so there's not really much of a tide anyways. So the dock sits close enough to the water that while you couldn't like dunk your whole legs in there, you can kind of brush the water with your feet.
Okay.
So you're sitting there, just feet in the water, playing long into the night, and as you start to play some tunes, there are slow tunes, fast tunes. As you get to ones that are more reminiscent of some of the sea shanties, you start to hear some sailors kind of sing some things along in their boats across the docks. But everyone just... It is a much more pleasant sound than the docks normally get to hear music playing. So as the night goes on and the docks get quieter, it just fades to being one of the only sounds aside from people moving objects that you can hear, and it's a much more pleasant place to be than the way the docks usually are.
That's nice.
Is there anything
Gonna
anyone
go
else
back.
would like to do over the evening?
I have one more thing, but anyone else can go first if they'd like.
I don't think anyone else has anything.
Okay. At some point before it got too much later, I would have told our group that I would, or at least everyone present, that Malcolm would see them later in the morning, and he would leave the inn and go to visit his aunt and uncle's house.
All right.
Spend some time there with them.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, I need to pull up your backstory.
Backstory inbound.
It's like I thought I had all these saved and like really easy. Like I try to keep all my stuff where it's really easy to access, and then when I need to access it, it's where I don't know where it is.
It's always that way, isn't it?
True.
Use what's it called?
OneNote?
Microsoft Notebook. Yeah, OneNote.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of different tabs you can use. That's what I use for everything on DMing online.
That is a good idea. I'm just not very organized.
It took me a while to get organized in there, but it's finally organized where I don't really have to go to 5,000 places.
That's fair. So yeah, you arrive home to a warm welcome as, knocking on the door. You see Kane comes to the front and just, Malcolm! And he just embraces you in a big hug. Just, it's been too long. Please come in. I can't say I was expecting this. Your aunt is asleep already, but I was burning the midnight oil, just working a little bit. But would you like a drink? Are you hungry? Is there anything I can get for you?
Sure. Yeah, a drink, food would be lovely.
Wonderful. And he takes you into the kitchen and he brings up a plate and pours a drink for the both of you and he sits you down and just, how is everything? How are you? What's new? What has changed?
I chuckle slightly. Quite a bit has changed, actually, Uncle. I actually didn't expect to be back here in Drena so soon, but fate sort of led me here, and I figured I would stop in. I think I've found my purpose that
Well,
I've been searching for.
that's wonderful to hear. I've wondered since you left about what became of you, and your aunt was quite worried for a while, and we prayed often for your safety, and it's wonderful to see that you're not only alive, but you seem like you're doing very well. What did you find, Malcolm?
I found a sense of purpose in the world, one that needs to be taken to defend those that cannot necessarily defend themselves.
That's a very noble goal. Did you join with perhaps the church, or were you what? I don't really know the ins and outs of fighting for people. I'm sorry.
It perfectly fine, Uncle. You could say it's part of a religious following. However, it's one that's not well known out in the world. Actually, most all frown upon it almost in fear. And I aim to hopefully bring it to the light a little bit more, to not have as much fear. But I saw some things, and just didn't sit well for me.
Well, we all have demons, Malcolm, and it's the way we choose to fight them that makes us who we are. I'm glad to see you found a method, but I fear for your safety, truly. I don't know where you go. You know, you've been gone for a long time. And I
know.
I know I can't help you, but do be careful out there. I would hate to see you. Well, I wish you the best in whatever you do.
I will do my best to stay as safe as possible, Uncle. I will do my best to keep in touch, of course. Sometimes traveling word can take a while to reach places.
We got the few letters that you did send, so by all means do send more. We love hearing anything, just notes of some of what you've been doing and where you've been, and most of all, just knowing that you're okay. If you're still here, then in the morning, Alice will be awake, and I'm sure she'd love to see you.
Yes, I was hoping to get in before she had gone to sleep as well, but I can return in the morning.
Just a brief visit. I know you must be busy, but she'd throttle me if she knew that you came by and I didn't get her.
And I wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want that. But yeah, so I'm staying in town for at least another day, as I've taken up a task to help the town with a problem they were having. Then after that, I'm planning to head up north to Whitestone.
Whitestone's a wonderful place, and however long you're here, you are more than welcome to stay. And well, I hope you still view this as your home.
I always have, Uncle.
as much as it can be. Please, allow me to get us another drink. And as the night goes on and you share some stories and find out more about how they've been doing, you tell as much as you can about what you've been up to. And
Yeah.
are you going to stay there or head back to the inn at the end of the night?
I mean, if it's not too immediately imposing, I guess I would stay there.
Yeah, no, there are still rooms aside. It seems like they didn't really change the children's bedrooms for the most part. So the bed doesn't really fit you great, but you do have a bed, and it's kind
At
of
this point, I'm pretty accustomed to sleeping on the ground, anyways.
so sleeping in
and
a
all.
bed at all is wonderful,
Yeah,
and it's also both nice and a little strange to spend the night in a place you haven't been in a very long time. And as the night passes and the morning comes, all of you awake. I assume the three of you stayed at the inn.
Yeah. I would have said that.
Yeah.
Soraya, did you just stay at the docks all night, or were you going to head back to the inn?
I would have gone back at
Okay.
some point to sleep in a bed and not on the hardwood docks.
Hey, fair enough, but I figured I'd double check. All right, so all of you head back to the inn. It'd be 3 silver for a night for each of you.
I'll use my
And-
winnings.
All right. We'll say you got 20 silver out of your night.
So 17 silver left.
And as you guys, spend the night, wake up in the morning, Malcolm, you are greeted warmly by your aunt and uncle who make you breakfast, and you tell a lot of the same stories that you told your uncle last night, but your aunt is just as eager to hear them as he was at first, and then you say your goodbyes and head off in the morning, and the rest of you, same thing, as you come downstairs from getting to sleep in a nice bed. You are greeted by the barkeep, offered breakfast, and why does everything disappear when I need it?
Because
What's his
Tanner,
name? Jordan. You're greeted by the barkeep, Jordan, who offers the group of you breakfast.
since Tanith sleeps a little less than most people, he spent a lot of the hours of the night practicing his swordsmanship.
For sure.
Periodically, you hear just an occasional light little thunk of metal hitting wood.
Whether it's him dropping his sword or him hitting the wall with the sword, you don't actually know because he's in his room.
when
There's
he
probably a
comes
bit
down-
of both.
So when he comes down to the bar, he's going to go through his things and hand another 3 silver to the barkeep.
The room was only 3 silver for a night, my friend.
Don't worry about it.
Well, much obliged. I appreciate it. Would you care for breakfast? We've got some stew and some meats cooking fresh this morning.
Do you have any fish?
Absolutely, we have fish. We never don't have fish.
1 fish, please. I'm just gonna go up to the bar.
Of course. I'll have that right up. Anything for the rest of you?
I will take a fish as well.
That's 2.
I'll just
Whatever you feel like serving me, I'll take it.
What was that, Soraya?
I'll just eat the stew. I don't care.
All right. 2 stews, 2 fish. I'll have those right up. And it's a silver for all of you. As you come up and, you get your food, Malcolm comes back into the tavern and sees the group of you, along with the kind of small scattering of other patrons that are here in the morning. It's significantly quieter than it is during the day. He brings you out your food as Malcolm comes in.
Hello?
Morning, everyone.
Good morning. How was your mysterious evening?
It was quite pleasant, actually.
Perfecto.
That's good to hear. I just ordered some fish.
Nice.
At this point, your food arrives and you all set to eating your breakfast.
So, what's on the plan for this morning? I'm a free today, booked it tomorrow, but free today.
Well, I know we are waiting to go see from the lodge and hear back what is happening with the cave, so to speak.
All right.
Well, we have a bit of gold now. I'm not sure if anyone needs to pick up any supplies before we head north. If that is the plan of everyone here, at least I know that's my plan.
I feel like you are never technically free, Stefano.
I don't know what that means. I go, oh, yes, the gold. That reminds me. Hey, Tanith, can I talk to you for a moment? I'm gonna take him aside.
Oh,
Wait
no.
for my fish.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You can go back to it.
Mid bite. Just lands on the plate.
I'm gonna take him out of earshot of the group and go. All right. So, as you know, bodyguarding is a daily thing that I'm gonna have to do. So it'll be another 15 gold.
Another per day.
Yes. You saw me in the cave. I am not a bad bodyguard. I'm pretty good at this job.
That's true. Is there any sort of payment plan sort of thing? I know that in Thingorn sometimes when people couldn't afford something, they could set up a series of payments that were smaller in amount over a course of time.
Well, my friend, I am not a bank. I do not offer lines of credit. But I'll tell you this. Instead of the 15 gold, you could, when it comes down to it, give me the first pick of anything we find. See?
Sounds good with me. I just hold up my hand.
I'm going to shake his hand. I'm marking that down. Perfecto. I'm glad we could have come to an agreement.
Yes. Thank you for understanding.
Oh, absolutely. I understand. Times are tough. It's difficult to partner with the gold. I understand. See, that's why I brought you over here. I didn't want to. It's rude to bring up monetary issues in front of others. See?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, perfecto. Yeah, I'm gonna walk back to the group. Definitely another cat got the canary. Right on my face.
As he walks away, Tath is just going to pull out his notebook and write that little thing, factoid.
Don't talk about money in front of people.
It is rude.
All right, you guys finish your meal and you go about whatever you'd like to do in the morning here.
Well, as soon as Tanith and Stefano come back, I'm gonna be, now that we're all returned, I know we just came into a bit of money, and we could be using some supplies. I'm not sure if anyone needs to make any stops before we leave tomorrow morning.
I might try to stop by somewhere.
I could use some better stuff as well.
Well, Malcolm, you know the city best. Would it be good to look for supplies in any specific area?
DM.
There is
Do I know this?
Yeah, closer to the docks there is so this town would probably be a market district, although the district composes of all of like 3 shops. There's the
Perfect.
local blacksmith, a general store, and an alchemist of debatable repute, but it's what the town's got.
Okay. Yes, there is actually a marketplace of sorts down by the docks. There you can find, if I remember correctly, there should be a blacksmith, a sort of general store type place, and alchemist. So, sort of probably not an alchemist you would find in a larger city, but
Seems like it would do the job and be good to spend a bit of time sort of killing down there for the day.
I think the alchemist might be a better place for me to go first.
I'm probably going to head to the blacksmith.
Go with him to the blacksmith.
All right, 2 to the blacksmith, 1 to the alchemist,
I'll go to the alchemist as well.
2 to the alchemist,
3 to the alchemist.
3 to the alchemist.
Damn it.
All right.
I need to stop having these good people around me.
So
health potions.
you guys, we'll go ahead and start with the blacksmith. The two of you. So, I guess you all make your way to the market district.
I lead them to it.
Yes. And looking, you see there is a larger shop with an open forge on one side, a terraced roof, but beneath it just all of the workbenches, anvils, hanging racks of weapons and armor. It seems to be a decent repute, and he keeps this part where the forge and the actual like heating is outdoors, with connected to the shop itself, but he's outside working. You just see a male human, taller than average, probably 6'4", widely built in the chest, a bit of a pudge around his belly, starting to lose his hair and pretty long beard about down to his chest as he slams on just a big chunk of metal with a heated to a red hot hammer in his hand, just dum, dum, dum. He does not seem to take notice of you as you approach.
Kind of just watching him hit the metal. So watching the sparks fly off.
Wails on it for a few minutes and, quenches it.
I'm gonna pat Tanith on the shoulder and tell him not to get too close, and then I'm gonna go browse.
I like how we all treat Tanith like a child. This person's been on the earth longer than any of us. And we all treat him like a kid. Fire is hot.
He pulls the metal out from the quenching oil and sets it on the anvil as he hears you start to kind of look through some things, and he sets it down. Oi. What do you need?
I don't know about my friend here, but I'm just looking for a quarterstaff.
I can do that. That's not going to be out here. That's going to be inside. I've got, don't want it to catch fire, but I can meet you inside with that one. Is there anything, metal you'd need?
Tanith is going to nervously try to describe that what he's looking for is a long blade that's slightly curved and incredibly light and able to eat held in 2 hands and just swept through. It's a old weapon that some of the elves use, but not knowing how to actually say some of the words to describe it in common, and also being very nervous, he's kind of just gonna stutter about a curved blade that's very light. That's pretty much all he really gets out of it, despite his hand motions.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of like stutter and you gesture and you get through a bunch and you just words like long blade and curved and elvish, and it's kind of just a mixture of things. But when you say elvish, he kind of looks at you and just, oh, no, no, no. I don't have anything of elvish make. Everything here is mine. So if you see it on the walls, that's about what I got.
I'm gonna look on the wall for any sort of curved blade that he might have.
I mean, there are curved blades like kind of scimitar-like, falchion-like, but he's by no means a master craftsman. He's just like the best blacksmith in the town, and he's probably spends more time repairing tools than he does building weapons. Most of the racks are hammers, fishing tools. The amount of weapons here is not very large, so finding anything specialized is kind of uncommon.
Tanith's going to pick up the scimitar and not really kind of realizing the type of situation this is and the type of shop this is. Also not really having enough like confidence to disagree with this guy. He's going to buy this scimitar.
Well, as you pick it up, it is distinctly heavier than the weapon you already have. If that would discourage you at all.
Oh. I'm going to just give it a few swings and see if there's any sort of... Is it balanced, like, pretty okay?
Yeah, it is quite a balanced weapon. It's just, compared to the significantly light way your weapon functions, it's a little bit heavier.
I'm
gonna
standing a good ways away from him while he's swinging it around.
He just he turns to you as you start swinging, and he just says, "Don't hate anything in here. I'm gonna go get what she needs. Take your time." And he gestures to you and heads inside. Inside is a mixture of, the same kind of stuff. A lot of tools. The weapons are a lot shorter, and the quarterstaff isn't of perfect make. It's kind of gnarled wood, but it's decently, it's carved to be as straight as possible, and it seems to be very solid. Sets it on the countertop in front of you. Just, it's about the best thing I got. Most of what we get here is for wood, is like driftwood and the like, so finding a long, hard piece of wood that could function properly is, well, it's not very common.
This will do fine. Can I ask him if he has, like, what the fuck are they called? Thieves' tools?
Yeah. Looking around on the shops themselves, like, he doesn't really have a lot of, like, sets of tools. The closest thing would probably be just things like pliers or a wrench. He doesn't have a lot of very fine items, because pretty much everything that he makes is either carved or hammered. He doesn't do a lot of the like gentle, clean work.
That's fair. I'll just buy the quarterstaff then.
For sure. So, cost you 3 silver. Pleasure doing business. If you need anything else, I'll be here working.
Thank you. I'm gonna go back outside to see how Tanith is doing.
And she's following right behind.
Tanith is he has his finger out and he is just like balancing, finding the exact point of balance on the sword where it'll just stay on his finger.
It functions more or less. Like, the closest you can get is it's kind of teetering, because the sword itself is not perfectly balanced. It is hammered like steel. Well, hammered iron more, but
I'll take it.
all right. Well, let me see. How much is... For that's going to cost you 25 gold pieces.
I hand him the 25 gold pieces for it.
Pleasure doing business. Just, be careful with that.
I get another swipe.
How?
What?
I give another swipe of it through the air of like sort of a flourish.
Mm-hmm.
Just twist it with my wrist a little.
He's not unconfident in your ability with a blade. He's more just nervous because he's not sure how you're gonna do with a blade. Well, if you have any more needs, do please let me know. I'm gonna get back to me work. Walks over and picks up the tongs holding the big bar of metal and sticks it in the coals and starts working building up the heat.
I'm going to just leave with my new weapon.
I'm actually pretty interested in the alchemist now.
Sure. I mean, you can head over there. You'll get over there a little after they all get there, but you can definitely head over there.
Fine.
So you guys come up and you see a small kind of one of the more weather-beaten shops. It's certainly been there for quite a while, but there's also like interesting marks in places. There's scorch marks. There's spots where it looks like stuff got broken and fixed. The shop has been there a while and it's seen its fair share of occurrences. And as you guys enter inside, you see what is a shop full of bookcases where most of the shelves are well put, but some are crooked, some are broken off in places, and everything inside is covered in different kinds of... There's bits of like sticky... You're not sure what on some shelves. There's remnants of powders. There is kind of a very just unclean... Everything is well used, and you see all of the shelves themselves have a decent amount of either potions, looks like bags of dust. There's a couple scrolls and shelves of parchments. And from behind the counter, facing away from you on a workbench that has a lot of tubes and a lot of different ingredients and what seems to be a bit of a laboratory in this little table. You see a small male halfling who's at work pretty feverishly until he hears the door shut behind him, and he turns around and there's... It's not a beard. It just looks like he hasn't shaved in a few days. So it's kind of patchy and it's uneven in places, and his kind of long hair drapes over his face a little bit, and he pushes it away as he looks at all of you with these beady eyes through pretty large spectacles. And
well, I don't really get visitors here very often. Hi.
I cannot tell.
Well, you know, some people here just don't have a need. I mean, is there something I can make for you?
Yes, sir, I do have need. I'm looking for a few material items, but if you have anything interesting you'd like to peruse with me about, I will gladly pay for them.
I mean, I have a lot of interesting things. It just kind of depends. What are you looking for?
Well, let's finish the main bulk of my business first. I'm looking for salt, some small copper and iron pieces, any holy water you might have, a yew leaf or a few if you have it, and powdered silver and phosphorus moss.
And aside from the holy water, as you're telling him, he's like jumping down, grabbing it from a shelf and putting it on the counter, and then like running over to the next one and like trying to keep up as you tell him stuff. And aside from the holy water, he has pretty much everything you're asking for.
So, I mean, if you're just looking for components, I got a lot of those.
That was the main bulk. Fortunate you don't have the holy water, but this is finally enough.
Well,
How much would this all cost me?
I have a lot of alchemical abilities, as you can see. He gestures to like the room around him, and just. But as far as blessing water, no, I can't really do that one.
Understood. How much would all of this cost?
Let's see. Let's see if that's 400. No, sorry, not 400. I missed a zero. How about 20 gold for the lot?
Well, I need at least 25 gold pieces of the powdered silver. So I'm going to need a bit more of that.
Oh.
But the rest of it.
He pulls out like a bag and he starts putting what he'd already put on the counter in the bag, and he's like,
well then, I suppose how about we'll say 60 gold?
How's 40?
45.
I'm fine with that. I'll
Done.
take out my pouch and give him 45 gold pieces.
he like kind of shuffles everything trying to get it so you can like reach it easier, but it's really just him pushing it like together and towards you.
Wonderful. Well, I guess do the two of you need regions too? I've got a lot.
Yes, I was curious actually. Do you have any
Probably.
potions?
Any health potions?
Yeah.
Well, it depends. What kind of health potion?
Oh, any.
Well, I have quite a few. If you're looking for just a basic health potion, I've got 4. 3. What's after 2? 4.
3.
No, wait, I have 4. I do have 4.
All right. And
Those will be and he reaches down and like pulls out it kind of looks like a metal container that has just a handle, and there's a bunch of kind of like the old like milk containers.
Yeah.
And he just sets that up, and there's a bunch of empty slots, but there's 4 bottles in there that are all filled with a swirling bright red liquid.
Those are gonna run you 50 gold apiece.
Okay.
If you buy 3, I'll make it 149 gold.
How about 75 for the 3? I'll throw a persuasion check if you want.
Well, that doesn't add up.
No, but we are buying them in bulk, and since we are, I'm going to gesture to how we all look. Clearly, out there fighting, we're going to be return customers.
Well, I certainly like the idea of a return customer. I haven't had a customer at all in a while. But
well, we plan on coming back. As long as your stuff works, we will come back.
well, I can't guarantee it works. I haven't tried it. Is
That's
that
fair.
okay?
Well, if it doesn't work, we most likely won't be coming back.
Okay, that's fair. 120 for 3.
95.
115.
99.
Are you just gonna do this until I agree to 100?
Sure.
95 it is.
All right, perfecto. I'm going to gesture to Malcolm. It's a 95 gold.
Well, wait, who's paying? I just agreed to... You... I
Well,
better
this is-
get paid.
Oh, you're gonna get paid. Tell you what. I will pay the full 95.
Well, I'd hope you would. That's already a discount off what I
Yep.
told you it was.
So I hand him the 95 gold.
He like takes it in his hands and just kind of stares at it for a moment. He's just like,
Do you know how many ingredients this buys?
and he like puts it under the counter.
I do. I just paid for about half of that.
Exactly. He knows. I like this guy.
Right.
Do you brew stuff too?
No, I take it more of a direct approach on the healing factor.
Can you show me how to do that? Because people don't want to buy a potion.
Took me many years of.
Oh, don't worry. I'm a quick study.
It's much more of a religious aspect to it as well.
Oh, this is coming back to the water, isn't it? Okay, I get it. Well, what about you, Catman?
So I'm gonna try. What are your rules on thieves' cant?
To people who don't understand thieves' cant, it sounds like you're whistling.
Gotcha. I'm gonna try and say something with thieves' cant.
All right.
I'm just gonna say, "Hey, brother, I'm looking for some information."
Wait, sorry, I'm with that.
I'm gonna say in thieves' cant, "Hey, brother, looking for some information."
To the
No.
Yeah. You like as you're walking, you kind of whistle, trying to make it look a little nonchalant, but he looks at you and
Does he speak common?
All right.
Yes, you should.
Sorry,
fair enough.
meow.
That's offensive.
I'm sorry, you didn't. I wasn't sure if you spoke common.
I was thinking. All right.
I'm
Jeez.
sorry.
See, we've come into some contact with some pretty nasty beasts, and so I was wondering if there was anything you had to help me bring them down quicker.
Well, it depends. What kind of beast we talking? And what way do you want to bring him down quicker? Because I got a lot of ways to make things go quicker.
I'm a more of the silent type. I'm not really much one for big flashes and booms.
Well, then how do you find fun?
I find it fun. Don't you worry.
All right. Well, let's see. I got a potion that should make you invisible. And then, beyond that, I mean, I guess this one is supposed to make you be able to climb walls like a spider. I've wanted to try it, but I don't see a reason when I could sell it.
I'll tell you what. You say these potions, you don't know if they work. See?
I mean, it's like 99%.
Gotcha. So what you're saying is you need a test subject.
I mean, for some of them, maybe. For some, I'd rather just sell them.
Right, of course. So what I'm getting at is, if you've given me the potions at a discounted price, I can go ahead and test them out for you and come back with the results. You see?
If I was going to have you test it, why wouldn't I just have you do it right here so I could watch? What if you explode? That would be great.
That would be great. But it would also damage some of your books here.
Do you know how many times I've had to rebuy these books? This would not be the first time.
Fair enough. So, all right. Well, if you're going to give it to me here, then I'm not going to pay. I'll just be your test subject here. This way, you not only get the test subject to test things out into the wild, you get the gold. I can make a persuasion check.
Yeah, make a persuasion check, because I'm actually trying to decide if I'm persuaded or not.
Well, I got a 21, if that helps.
That's a nat 1.
So, well, I mean, you drive a hard bargain. Has anyone ever told you, for someone I didn't think who speaks common, you're good at speaking common.
It's weird because we had right before you accused me of not speaking common, we had a discussion about the price of potions.
Well, yeah, but then you wouldn't respond. Some people only know how to ask one question in common.
I mean, that's fair enough.
But sure, I'll sell you my stuff at a discount, but I want detailed reports. of
Absolutely.
everything that happens.
I have someone who will be able to perfectly describe them. And he wouldn't be trying them, so he'll definitely be able to come back.
If you explode, can you have him bring me the pieces? I could use them.
Yes, he'll bring back the pieces. I don't know what you could have used them for, but yes.
You don't need to know what I can use them for. All you need to know is that it works.
I don't want to know what you use them for.
Well, I use them for this, honestly.
Gee, I don't.
As he starts putting it up, he puts it back down.
I'm a good.
Okay, if you're sure. It's a trade
So how
secret. I was gonna let you in on it.
Oh, well, if it's a trade secret, I can get them to
No,
leave.
you already said no. Pay me.
How much?
Well, which one do you want?
How about them both? Why get the results of just a 1 when you can get the results of just a 2?
Well, so normally, for the potion, I'm gonna call it the spider potion. The one that lets you climb the walls. That one is gonna be, well, normally it's 600 gold. So I think if I gave it to you at half price, it'd be 300, and that's fair.
Half price? You're asking me to a risk of my life.
No,
for
you're
300
asking you
gold.
to risk your life. I'm asking you to pay me.
No, see, you said you wanted to test it. Why don't you test it, huh? By the same logic,
I
you could
told
have
you I
tested.
want to test it, but I need money.
See, I will give you 75 of gold.
I'll give you the potion of invisibility for 75, and we'll call it good. For 75 gold, I'll drink this damn thing. That actually sounds like a better afternoon to me.
Fine, I put down the 75 gold. I'll take the potion of invisibility.
He reaches down and he hands you an empty vial.
Well, it's invisible.
That's very funny. Give me the potion.
He reaches down and pulls out another one that it looks kind of like water. It is clear, but there is a bit more color to it. It's not perfectly clear, and it's almost like a very light gray. It kind of
Gotcha.
swirls around in the vial. And
Now, it should last, from what I've heard. I haven't, like I said, I haven't gotten to test it, but it should be about a minute. So make sure that at the end of that minute, you're not at the end of a gun or something, or else you're going to get your head blown off.
I think I know what to do within a minute. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Can I have my empty vial back?
I'm gonna just slide it across the counter to him.
Thank you. This was the real potion of invisibility, but you never knew that.
takes the 75 gold and puts it under the counter.
Now, is there,
Which at this point, Soraya, you've arrived at this point and probably seen a good part of this exchange. And
is there anything else you guys need? I have work to do, although I don't have customers, so I don't know why I'm always eager to work.
Do you have any more healing potions, Fortune?
Healing potion, yes! What kind?
What do you have?
Well, I have regular, and I have greater, and I have superior, and I don't know how well those work, but I have regular.
How much are the greater potions?
Well, let me, I'm gonna have to look here. Give me just a minute.
Let him consult his price book.
yeah, his magical ledger of prices.
Half the size of him.
He just pulls out a tome. It's like starts flipping through pages, and he's like going through one page at a time. Just
Let's see.
B, and he kind of keeps going for a second.
I am paying avid attention to this.
Well, if you're looking for a greater potion, that's gonna run you about 200 gold. I'd be willing to knock it down to 150 since I'm having a good day.
125.
You be quiet, Catman. I'm not talking to you. You already got so much.
Do you have any regulars left?
I have 1. 2, 1.
I will
1.
buy. How many fingers does he have?
On this hand? This many? when he was doing the like
what about
3,
the
4,
other
it was
one?
like 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4.
I'll just take the one that's left.
All right,
Whatever,
that's
the
gonna be
one-
50 gold.
Oh, that's fine. That's not that bad.
Perfect. Well, now I need to make more healing potions because you guys
I-
bought them all.
I look straight at Stefano and I hand the man 50 gold.
Perfect. Do you need anything else?
I think that's all I need. Where's Tannis?
Well, I don't
Did I
think he
leave
followed you to
I
the...
went-
Did
Oh,
you follow
no.
them?
I went to the general store.
All
Oh.
right. So he did not follow you. You don't know where Tanith is.
I lost the child.
Child? Do you need
Listen.
a potion for that?
No, we don't. Listen, if you have a Tanith, you need to keep an eye on Tanith. He's gonna get lost, and I can't let my client be lost.
I am not this visitor. He is out here in the world of his own volition. If anything, he's paying you to watch him, so I think you should be with him rather than me. I'm not getting paid to watch the red leather elf.
She's got a point. If you're getting paid, you should do your job. That's why you bought my potions.
I'm gonna give the gnome a look and just walk out of the store.
Come back soon.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sir. I may be back again.
I hope to see you again soon. I will have more of all of the shit you bought, I promise.
Thank you. I will leave.
Bye.
Like waves to you guys as you leave.
I'll wave back at him. He seems nice enough.
Which, I mean, just for reference, like, you probably gave him more gold than he sees in a month. This is a city of poor villagers and fishermen. People aren't really interested in magic items.
No, Edwin.
Yes.
Overheard you were looking for some holy water.
I was. I sort of ran out during my last few jobs and just thought I'd stock up before heading north.
There is a little bit small, but there's a temple of the Dawn Father here. He might be a source of that for you.
We'll see. I don't particularly need it, but it would be good to pick up at least 1 or 2 vials before leaving. We will see if we have time. I assume we will. We have a whole day, I guess. But we'll see after this next stop if any more bartering shenanigans hold us for about an hour, as they did before.
He saved you gold.
That was true.
Didn't save me anything.
You had it handled. Malcolm didn't look like it.
Yes, thank you for the assistance on that.
Of course.
But just so you know about the temple there.
I will. We'll see if I need it or not. Let's just see what this general store, and then if we have time, we'll stop.
Which, at this point, Tanith, you have gotten to the general store, and it's a well-kept building, better than a lot of places here. Even being as close to the docks as it is, it doesn't look very weather-beaten. There's a couple windows on the outside, and it has a porch out front with several tables, and you see some of the residents of the town just sitting, either playing games or just chatting, some a drink in hand. But you enter inside, and you see it's a place that's lined with shelves. Everything is well-organized and well-cleaned. And you see, after a moment, there's the couple people browsing the shelves. You see a male dwarven man, a short, well-trimmed beard just right here, but nothing, like, clean-shaven on the sides, and his hair is tied back in a short ponytail, pulled pretty tight, and as he's walking around, and you see him ask, just to make sure everyone's okay before he comes over and sees you walk in. Oh, well, good morning. Well, I suppose it's afternoon. Good afternoon. Well, my name's Dalrak. What can I help you with today?
I was wondering if you had any playing cards available.
Oh, by all means, I've got lots of playing cards. That's actually a very popular item here. You know what happens when you've got all the sailors, and he starts kind of just yammering as he like walks you towards where all the stuff is, and just over here we've got several different games. If you're, there's playing cards, which, and you see there's many different kinds of playing cards, different art styles, different kind of card stocks. So the ones up top are more for sailors because they're, as a sailor, you can either spring for a really durable set of cards, or you can just kind of go for the cheap ones and replace them, and you'll probably spend less money replacing them, So they're okay. They're gonna last, but they're also not gonna be super durable. As the ones down here, they're made from nicer paper, nicer parchments, nicer inks. They're gonna last longer. And then, if you're interested, there's also some of these other games if you're curious.
What other games are there?
Well, I've got one set of dragon chess, which people around here don't know how to play. I couldn't teach you myself. A trader sold it to me. He was, I believe he was from Iman, but he sold it to me a long time ago. I've had it for a while. No one really wants to buy it. And then I've got these, which are pretty much just checkers. And then there's this one, which I don't know how to play, actually. And he shows it to you, and it's just like a long board with a bunch of... It looks like just dents in the board in a circle. And he's just, I don't know how to play this. And it didn't come with anything else. It's just a board. So it's like... I'm not actually sure what this one does. But if you're interested, maybe you know how to play it. I don't know. You don't look like you're from around here. Maybe you know... Can you teach me how to play this? Do you know what this is?
Can I roll a history check to see if I can
Go for it.
Might as well. See, that is going to be 17.
17. You know that while you haven't played it much, as a part of some of your education over the 75 years that you spent you were educated on a lot of common games, and one that is more common, especially in higher social circles. This is pretty much the equivalent of Mancala. Although it is missing like all of its pieces. It's just a board.
I look like I'm going to answer, but then I remember Stefano's lesson about not divulging more information than need be. And I'm going to instead choose to just be like, I think I'd be interested in just like durable card deck if you have it.
Oh, by all means, I've got several sets. I've got this one that's the art is kind of, the card backing. There's the one that has no art on it. There's the one that's got a little bit of the kind of elvish design. I've got one that's dwarvish design. It's personally my favorite, but that's probably no surprise. And then I've got this one that's just more of this simple kind of abstract design. It was done by one of our local artists. It's actually quite beautiful, but I think they all are, aside from the one with no art, but some people prefer the simple.
This is going to be an odd question, but do you have any of the... Are there any of the ones with like a skull or bones type motif to them?
Well, we can. I don't have any of those for the nicest ones, because that tends to be a popular design among the sailors, but instead, between, certainly the cheapest, but I think if you go one level up, I think I've got one. He kind of rummages through and pulls one out. That's kind of the classic, like, piratey motif. So it's that kind of ships and the very, like, geometric patterns, skulls and crossbones kind of thing.
Perfect. How
Wonderful. This type of cardstock, we'll go 5 silver for the deck.
Sounds like a good deal.
Wonderful. Is there anything else I can help you find while you're here?
No, I believe that's going to be it. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, if you need anything else, do feel free to come back. Just ask for old Delric. And as you turn around, you see that what you didn't notice coming in, next to the door is a taxidermied bear that is probably 8 feet tall and just like, you know, the way they like pose the bear where it's just up, but it's just kind of like everything else is neat and organized. The shop is very clean, and there's just a bear.
I jump a little.
And at this point, I assume the rest of you guys were coming to the general store at this point, yeah? So you
I
guys...
assume-
What?
Oh, I assume that after asking around where did an elf in bright red leather go to, I was pointed in the direction of the general store.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you guys get there pretty right about as Tanith is leaving the store.
Hey there, Teneth. Try to stay with the group. So, yeah, it's a little hard to bodyguard you if you stray from the group.
Ah, yes, of course. Just, well, I had so much fun playing last night that I decided to try and get my own. He's holding up the deck I had. Yeah, I just bought.
And Stefano, like, your deck is very well used, and it's like if it was a 1 to 5, like as far as like quality of card stock goes, he bought a 4. Yours is like a 1.5. So he bought nice cards.
That's a good deck. Let me see it a little bit. Yes.
Of course.
So I'm flipping through the deck.
You could cheat some games with these. They slide off each other very smoothly. It's a very well playing deck.
I'm gonna put like a almost disappointed look on my face and bring Tanit, like gesture for Tanit to follow me, like feigning like
I
take
go,
him aside a little bit. My friend, you were cheated.
what do you mean?
So I'm going to take a card and I'm going to bend it just a little bit. I'm going to go see how this is not how it works. See, it's not supposed to do this. And then I'm going to take out my card deck and I'm going to show him. See, these are cards. My friend, I tell you what, to help, to keep you from being embarrassed, I'll even buy this deck off of you. Just give you mine in return. Just to help save you from shame. I mean, you bring this to a table, you're gonna get a laugh off the table. This is me being a friend.
I'm gonna look at his deck. Are there skulls on his deck?
Are there skulls on the design of your cards?
There are faded skulls. Like they're still there, but it's well used.
Sounds good to me.
All right, perfecto. I'm gonna hand him my deck, and I'm gonna take his deck.
All right, which, Tanith, to you, like, with as little experience you have shuffling and dealing, it's almost easier to play with these cards because they are like well used. So shuffling is very easy, but you're still a little bit like, I don't know, those cards were nice.
Honestly, he only bought it for the design.
I'm gonna put the cards away in my pack. Now see Tanith. We're not gonna mention this to the group, okay? Because it could be seen as you making a bad deal, and I don't want them thinking you are naive. Okay?
He's just shuffling the cards, like remembering how Stefan did it, almost trying to like mimic the exact movements, including the attempted sleight of hand.
Make a sleight of hand check.
is 10.
10. All right, you're not fancy with it, but you can shuffle the deck without dropping cards. It's pretty well done, you know.
I'm gonna teach you how to do this like really quick and really well. But I'm gonna kind of like take his face and make him look at me. If you are seen as naive, some people are gonna try and take advantage of you. That is why you need me around. Yes, I'm gonna protect you. That is what you're paying me for.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course. Because I think that we could be friends.
Really?
Yes. Tad, we could be friends. Now let's get back to the group, yes? And I'm gonna bring him back to the group.
While that disaster is happening over there, can I go buy the Moncala set?
Yeah. As you go in, you know, the same dwarven man greets you. Just,
Oh, welcome in. What can I interest you in?
Anything to pass the time.
Well, I've got some games over in the back. A man actually just came in looking for a deck of cards. So we've got plenty of those if you're looking for cards, or he leads you over to the corner. Just, we've got this chess set, we've got some simple checkers games, then we have this one, if you know what it is. And he shows it to you, and while you're not perfectly adept at the rules, you at least recognize the board. You know what it is. Just, if you know what this is, a man came in and sold it to me a long time ago.
I'm going to like light up like a kid at Winter's Crest. How much is the board?
I'm gonna be honest, it's sat here for so long, I'll give it to you for a silver.
Okay. I'll give him. And is there like a table anywhere, like a cleared off table?
Outside, there's the tables that are kind of like on the balcony, or well, not really the balcony, the porch, where there are a few that are not used.
I'm gonna ask the dwarf when he gets off of work.
Well, technically, I get off work when I decide to, because I own and I run the shop. Kind of just run it till I'm tired and then close for the day. Usually a little bit before sundown.
I'm gonna tell him where we're staying. And I'm going, I remember this game. You want to learn how to play it, right?
I mean, I'm certainly curious. I'd happily learn how to play it.
Okay. Then I will be at what is the name of the inn?
The Creaking Boar.
The inn in town, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot about that. I will be at the inn, probably tonight, and I will show you how to play this game.
Well, I'll probably be there as well then. Could use a drink too. Sounds like a good time. I'll be there.
I kind of like hug the board to my chest and I smile and then like I have to calm down for a moment and then turn around and go back to the group.
All right.
That's a pretty nice board you got there.
Oh no.
Around what time is it at this point?
I'd say it's probably about 1 in the afternoon.
Seeing that we have a lot of time, I guess I can take you up on heading over to the Allhammers. Oh, Dawnfather, sorry.
Dawnfather, yeah.
Allhammers, Dawnfather, same thing.
So from so from now till sundown, you guys have about 7 hours. What would people like to do in that 7 hours?
I would like to be teaching Tanith card tricks and like maybe some cheating at cards. Hopefully without Tanith knowing I'm teaching him how to cheat at cards. If he's down for that.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll be teaching Tanith pretty much, and like teaching him that this is the proper way to deal. But that, yeah, all right. Are you just going to spend the whole day doing that?
Pretty much until he gets it down.
All right. Soraya?
I'm going to essentially busk with my wheel out, like on the docks and shit, and try to earn back some of the gold that I spent today. I've never had that much gold before. I probably didn't spend it very wisely.
Fair. All right, so you'll be out there. Are you just going to do that till sundown?
Probably. I don't
Alright.
want to be mixed up in the cat and the red leather.
It's the cat and the red leather.
That sounds like a folk story.
And then, so you two are going to head to the Allfather, or the Dawnfather.
Dawnfather.
Correct.
Yeah. I'll make sure he gets there.
Is there anything else the two of you would like to do in the day?
That was the only thing I wanted to do, and then head back to the lodge once we were finished and hang out.
All right. Malcolm, anything?
No, I'm just gonna take him to the temple.
All right.
And,
So, Tanith, go ahead and make. Let's do a dexterity check, and do it with advantage. Just a straight dexterity.
And with advantage.
Yes, because Stefano is a master of this.
Okay, that's going to be 21.
All right, so over the day, you successfully learn how to, as you're dealing, take the cards and use either your index finger to slip the card below the top without it looking like it, or use your pinky to slip the bottom of the deck in, and in proper motions, deal from different parts of the deck. And you also, at this point, have gotten shuffling down pretty solid. You can shuffle with a little bit of a flourish, and you know how to play this game down pat at this point.
So when I shuffle from different parts of the deck, I'm not supposed to tell them that I'm doing it.
Yes. See, everybody knows, but it's considered a rude. It's like for traveling cardsmiths like myself, it's seen as like pointing out to someone's weight. You just don't do it. It can actually get you a kick from a table. It's one of the biggest insults to like point out when somebody's doing that.
Well, he's teaching me this, and I'm dishing out the cards. I'm going to attempt to use prestidigitation while I'm shuffling to make a card appear on the top of the deck, so it looks like it has one more card than it actually does.
Oh my god, he's learning.
So, sure. All right, when you do this, you will have to roll against the other people at the table to see if they recognize that it is an illusory card. But sure, you can make it look like there's an extra card.
I'm such a good teacher.
All right. So while you two spend the evening going about Stefano being way too proud of himself, Soraya, make a performance check.
I got a 1.
As you pull out your instrument and you kind of get ready to play, you bring the bow across the strings and you just hear this ding! And you look and 2 of the strings are broken. And you do get a gold from one guy who watched it happen and was laughing. But you don't see, but as you're not playing music, no one is filling your case with gold over the day. For 2 silver, you could go to the general store and purchase replacement strings over the day and restring your instrument.
I'm probably gonna do that, but I'm gonna be really sad about it because this is gift, probably.
So it'll be 2 silver, and you can get a full set of new strings that will probably sound nice and clean and wonderful anyways.
Well, I got a gold out of it at least. I'm gonna go find somewhere to hide.
And then Merrick and Edwin, you guys make your way over to the temple, and as Edwin, Merrick is not here. Malcolm leads you to the outskirts of the city where there's a very humble temple. It's a small building with symbols adorning the front, and as you guys enter, there is just a single priest on the inside, an older gentleman, early 60s maybe, who turns to you as you come in, just, welcome. We don't have as many visitors as we used to, although we've certainly seen a rise with some happenings as of late. What can I help the two of you with? Oh, I'm sorry. Where are my manners? My name is Vedal.
I would guess I would know him, possibly?
Know of him. You didn't
Okay,
have a ton of
okay.
interactions with him, but you certainly have like met him before, but it's the person that you only knew
In
like
passing.
yeah.
Okay.
His
His
name
name
is
is an elderly human man, correct?
yes, elderly human man.
Okay.
Kind of like a little bit skinny. Not unhealthily so, but he could probably eat a little more. But Malcolm, you know his name is Vadal Joka.
I would have taken off my hat on entering it. On the way there, I would have pulled out the amulet of the Dawn Father that I have.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wearing that as I come in. Vidal, it's been a while.
I'm sorry, I can't say you're very familiar.
It's not a problem. We met once quite a while ago. Malcolm.
Well,
Name's Malcolm.
it's a pleasure to see you again, Malcolm. I see you also practice the faith. Dawn Father has watched over you.
For a time. I was a acolyte here. for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I do sincerely apologize then for not remembering. How that isn't terribly rude of me.
It's all right. To be honest, we met briefly, and I've been gone for quite a while. So.
Well, regardless, it is good to have you return to the temple, as we always welcome back our patrons.
This is my friend here, Edwin, and he would like to, if it's available, I believe it's holy water. Was it you're looking for?
I'm looking for holy water. I'll sort of give a bow to the priest here. I'm in need of refilling my stock before heading out. I don't practice your faith in particular, but I am a practicing man myself, and I tend to wander between here and the what is that strip of land called? Between here and that big city in the middle. Frick.
Western? Hymal?
If I had the map like right next to me, I'd look, but I actually don't know where I put my map. I need to find that.
I can pull it up on PDF.
Sorry.
The Dividing Plains?
Yes. Between here and the Viding Plains, Terse Fields and Westrun, I typically wander between small village to small village, providing services. I'd be willing to purchase some of your holy water so I can complete this duty.
Normally, yes, I would ask for you to purchase the water, but I believe that you have a much better use for it than sitting here in our stores. And he hands you 2 vials from one of the cupboards off in the corner. You seem to have good use of this. Perhaps, well, I suppose you're already one to be paying it forward and seeing to others.
Well, I thank you. I would rather repay this though. You have a penance or a penance spot for any sort?
I mean, we have our spot for offerings and donations, and if you truly wish, it's over by the altar. But do please feel no obligations to do so.
Trust me, sir, I feel no obligations. It is just only of my own will that I feel I always need to repay those around me. Just take out 20 gold, put it in the box.
That's very generous of you, and it is sincerely appreciated. Is there, well, I do not have many tasks around here, but is there anything I can assist you to with other than the procurement of your water?
That was my main goal of coming here. Nothing else comes to mind of needing you at the moment, but if anything comes up, I will remember Fedor for those.
Yes, Vedar. And you were Edwin and Malcolm, yes?
Yes.
Well,
Whoever in the area again, and we need your services, I will surely be stopping by.
well, Dawnfather watch over your travels and bring you safely to wherever your destinations may be.
Thank you. I'll take my leave at this point.
Yep. I bow. My farewell, and then follow him out.
All right. You guys all meet up later as the evening carries on and sundown comes around. And Soraya, you spent the last hour or two playing Mancala in the inn with the dwarf and teaching him this game, and he was excited to finally understand what this random board that had been sitting in his shop was.
Using all of the shiny rocks I've ever collected.
You perfectly have almost exactly what the Mancala board should be. And as you guys all group up outside the lodge for where you are to hear about what happened in the caverns with their party, that's where we'll pick up next week.
All right.
All right.
Hey.
Boy.
Well, that was awesome.
I can't believe you're teaching him to cheat.
I'm teaching him how to relieve people of unwanted baggage.
This can only end well. I'm sure
I feel like that's a
his
different
escalating evilness of corrupting this 75-year-old elf's mind is not going to go wrong at all.
You know, that's the part that I almost don't feel bad about. You're corrupting someone who's 75, you know?
He's had his chance.
I feel less bad.
I'll be honest, I felt a little bit of like a twinge of guilt when Stefano was like, we could be friends. And he's like, really? Stefano, for a moment, heard what sounded like the dying gasps of his conscience.
And then he was like, wait, money.
He's like, hold on. I have a much better deck of cards now. I'll say whatever I need to say.
Well, that was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, next week we will pick up outside the lodge, where we will find out about the happenings and see about setting you guys towards your next destination. But until then, thank you, all of you guys, for always being here. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And we'll see you next Monday for our next episode.
Perfect.
All right.
Awesome.
Now we can't play cards with either of them.
Yes, you can.